You're watching the New Hampshire Association of Broadcasters' three-time award-winning YCN Game of the Week. Today, we're at the University of New Hampshire for the State Division III Championship football game featuring the #1 Lebanon Raiders taking on the #2 Trinity Pioneers of Manchester. The YCN Game of the Week is brought to you by Top Stitch Embroidery, the best for your team and so much more. M.J. Harrington and Company, jewelers and designers since 1948. William A. Smith Auction Gallery. They host 45 auctions yearly. Check the schedule on their website. Lake Sunapee Region VNA and Hospice, providing independence for patients and peace of mind for families. H.R. Clough and Kearsarge Heating, your local energy specialist. Much more than a home heating provider. La Valley Building Supply, 10 retail lumber yards serving New England for over 55 years. Ramonto's Brick Oven Pizza and more, always fresh. People, food, great times await you. Mascoma Savings Bank, with no shareholders to please, committed to remaining independent and to reinvesting profits in our community. Baba's Bar and Grill of Newberry Harbor, where Baba wants you to know we're having a lot of fun. And Echo Communications, a digitally integrated commercial printer and mailer located in New London, New Hampshire.
Good day and welcome to Wildcat Stadium on the campus of the University of New Hampshire in Durham, New Hampshire for today's NHIAA High School Football Championships. Hello everyone, I'm Jeremy Stout, joined as always by Scott Quimby, and to kick us off today we have Trinity High School versus Lebanon High School in the Division III Finals. And Scott, this is a rematch from earlier in the season. Lebanon defeating Trinity. They had a good run all season until they finally lost their last regular season game. But both of these teams come in obviously playing strong. That's why they're in the championship game.
Yeah, I mean, you would have to think, based on the way the regular season went, that Lebanon's the favorite here today. That last game of the season was probably a bit of a letdown, but at the same time, they already kind of had things wrapped up, so you're probably resting a lot of people, trying out some new guys. But Trinity's no joke, and this is going to be a fun game to watch. You know, I mean, they got a powerful running back in John Tebow who's going to give Lebanon some trouble.
Yeah, I mean, John Tebow, former Newport Tiger running back. Many of you who have followed us have seen him play for the Newport Tigers, but now plays for the Trinity Pioneers and had a 2,000-yard rushing season, including over 200 yards in the semifinal victory last week over Stevens. He rushed for 234 yards and scored 3 touchdowns in their victory, 48-15 victory last week. And then on the Lebanon side, we've got a running back, Wade Rainey. He rushed for 218 yards, and he is a beast on the field. And Scott, this Lebanon team, a lot of people familiar with this Lebanon team. They've had some ups and downs, but they're a powerhouse for sure. Yeah,
I mean, they certainly have a good running game, but let's not forget about their defense. Noah Tyler, playing defensive tackle, senior this year, has been a powerhouse. This defense is playing very well. You know, they're going to make it tough for Trinity to move the ball on the ground, but again, John Tebow is a tough guy to stop, so I think that's where the matchups kind of line up, is on the offensive-defensive line. And, you know, Lebanon does have a good passing game, too, with Jonathan Williman, so, you know, there's a lot of possibilities in this game. It's going to be a nice chess match.
Yeah, it should be an exciting one, and on the field, as you see, a little bit soggy down there, but we'll be getting this one underway. Trinity will receive the opening kickoff. When we come back, we'll have the kickoff. Division III, New Hampshire State Championships You're watching the YCN Game of the Week.
In beautiful Plymouth, New Hampshire, 1766 Brewing is a new local favorite, serving classic pub fare and unique full-flavored beers with nano-quality brewing, specializing in handcrafted small batch artisan beer. That's because the brewing and second tap room is just down the road behind the Last Chair restaurant. And did we mention it's a great place to have a great time?
A casual, easygoing, fun place to stop. It doesn't matter what you're wearing. The atmosphere inside is fantastic, and I think it's for everybody.
Welcome back. We are set to begin. Trinity will be receiving the opening kickoff. They finished the season 8-1, and then of course they sit at 10-1 now with their 2 wins in the playoffs. Same thing with the Raiders, 8-1 and now 10-1. The Raiders obviously with the tiebreaker by defeating Trinity 21-7 earlier in the year, and of course Lebanon getting into this game off a 41-0 shutout over Hillsborough Deering Hopkinton. That's where I mentioned Wade Rainey was a 218-yard workhorse, and they'll expect to see a lot of that today. So
yeah, and that's what I mentioned, their defense, big 0 in the playoffs.
Right.
So that's an impressive showing for that unit. And so Trinity won the kickoff, and they opted to receive. Interesting strategy. I would rather defer, but they're feeling very confident, and I like that.
The kickoff, and we are underway. Fielded about the 13-yard line, and that's where the Pioneers will return at number 7. Don Taylor going down the left side, and he's got some room, kind of trying to regain his footing. He's able to before he's finally pulled out of bounds by Jonathan Willeman inside the 20-yard line. First down, Pioneers.
Yeah, you're in your championship game in the opening kickoff. You break a return like that. I mean, how's that for momentum? That sideline's feeling great right now. You can see him very excited.
Was quite the gain. They'll spot him down at the 17-yard line, and that's where the Pioneers will take over. First down and 10, and we'll get our first look at the offense. And as we mentioned, the Pioneers will trot out the superstar running back, and that's number 24, John Tebow. He is, of course, in the backfield, as well as Taylor, who just returned that kick. He's the up man, and we'll see what they do first. Man goes in motion, and then going to be a false start. So talk about a letdown after a big return.
A little bit of a momentum killer right there to get a false start on your first play of the game. But, you still got the ball here at the 22-yard line. I mean, Trinity is in a great position here. Whether they get a first down or not, you'd think they're in field goal range at this point.
Well, and, they just want to get some extra yards for Tebow when he gets the football.
That is true. A little more room to work with.
Right, as they say. They got one receiver far side left, as I mentioned. Taylor and Tebow in the backfield. Under center is the quarterback with the pitch, and Tebow immediately cuts to the outside, but a good defensive effort by the Raiders to knock him out.
Yeah, you got to expect this from Lebanon. They're going to be focusing on Tebow. It's no surprise.
Right.
He is their weapon. He is their star. So this defense is going to hone in on there. And, if Trinity's good enough, they can still beat them with him, but they might have to use some alternate options here. We'll see.
Quarterback under center, Peter Alessandro, the junior. And now a couple fullbacks, in front of Tebow. And this time the handoff goes to the up man, that's Taylor. And he is swung down, maybe a few yards on the gain. They'll spot it inside the 15-yard line at the 14. Third down.
Yeah, I mentioned this multiple times this year. That was a good run. They have the ball in the left hash marks. They did a little fake to the left, but they did it to the wide side of the field to the right, and he had a lot of room to work with. He didn't quite necessarily have the speed to beat the defenders to get to the end zone, but he had a pretty good gain there, and now we're at third manageable. So.
And as you mentioned, this is really strength on strength, this Lebanon defense. They've heard a lot about Tebow. They know him from being in the area the last few years up in Newport and now here in Trinity, and he's trying to make his mark at Wildcat Stadium, and he is stuffed. So they go 3 plays, and it's going to be short of the first down, and trotting on the special teams unit going for the field goal.
Yeah, those Lebanon coaches, are happy on the sideline. They weren't happy, obviously, with the special teams play to let him return the ball down to the 18-yard line, but the defense came up big there.
So the field goal will be just, where are they going to spot that? About the 19-yard line, so a 29-yard kick. And it looks like number 10, Liam McCoy, the senior, will be the kicker. And the ball is down. Kick is up. Low kick. And it is no good. So No score so far. 10:20 to play here in quarter number 1. You are watching NHIAA football on YCN television.
Simple solutions in a challenging world. Let Echo Communications make your life simpler. From the beginning, creating design through the commercial print process and ending with custom mailing, all easily coordinated in one place. Echo Communications provides simple solutions in a challenging world. One place, many solutions. Learn more at echocominc.com.
Welcome back. Lebanon Raiders taking over at the 20-yard line. And the first play from scrimmage there, that's really not a huge surprise, as we know they're going to keep the ball on the ground, and that one was Wayne Rainey, the senior.
Yeah, he's the guy you expect him to give him the ball to, and this Lebanon team, I mean, we talked about momentum and excitement for Trinity here, but they kind of got denied there.
Yeah, I mean, after that big...
Kind of a heartbreaker, really. I mean, you get a return all the way down to the 18-yard line, and you don't get any points out of it. That's a tough pill to swallow right off the bat here.
Especially after that false start, kind of knocks them back. But then Lebanon Raiders' defensive line stepped up and made some nice stops and then forced them into the field goal, which they missed. And Lebanon now taking over here on second down. And again, the handoff to Rainey, and he is again stuffed. So both these teams clearly know what the other team is going to do, and they've both been prepared for it.
Well, I mean, part of the thing is, too, not only are they running offenses, but we're in rainy, bad weather conditions here. I mean, it's been icy over the night and snowy. That's going to lead to a more run-heavy game plan to begin with, and then they're also run-heavy offenses on top of that.
Right.
So, I mean, these defenses knew what to prepare for, and we're going to have a dogfight on our hands, I think, today.
So 3rd down and 9 from just about the 21-yard line, ball just over the 20 in the shotgun. And now we'll see our first pass dropping back to pass and then scrambling out to the right side. And this one is intercepted at the 43-yard line. And the Pioneers will take over. Peter Alessandro with the interception. And the Pioneers take over at the 40.
A lot of time there.
A lot of time.
In the backfield. He had a lot of time to figure out his target, and he had Rainey wide open. There's 2 receivers over there, and he seemed to overthrow Rainey. Let's take a look.
Yeah, look at Williman kind of throwing on the run, but he overthrew one guy. And
you had Rainey right there at the 38 wide open, and he kind of just, I don't know if he was trying to throw to him and overthrew him or tried to throw to the other guy, but it went into double coverage and turned out bad interception.
And here we go with the QB keeper. Off to the left side is Alessandro, the quarterback, and he will be dragged down behind the line of scrimmage. Lost about a yard, and he'll be spotted at the 41-yard line. Bring up 2nd down and 11.
I mentioned Noah Tyler earlier, the defensive tackle in this Lebanon front, but this whole front is very good, and they're showing you why here early in this game. Not a lot of running room for a very good running offense of Trinity.
So it'll bring up 2nd down, and both teams not a lot of luck on the ground, and then obviously the one pass in the air intercepted by Pioneers. And again, Alessandro kind of keeps it, but then he pulls it down. He's got a man open, and that is complete. Nice throw and catch. And the first down, that was to number 85, Jacob Brown, the senior tight end.
Yeah, and the defensive back, Jacob Hippner, looked like he fell down a little bit before the pass came in there. It was a tough throw, thrown off the back foot, but able to float it in there for a huge gain in Trinity. Down in scoring territory here again.
So a successful pass play for the Pioneers. 1st down and 10 from, it looks like they'll be spotted at the 12-yard line, and that's where you'll get Alessandro under center, a couple fullbacks, Tebow as well. And the pitch off to the left side, and once again running to that wide side, the left, number 30, James Tebow, the sophomore. So that is John Tebow's younger brother, who also has a big part in a lot of the offense. So they'll bring up 3rd down, excuse me.
In that play, it doesn't look like it's successful. I mean, he got brought down pretty quickly, but if you look at the chains, it moved 4 yards. I mean, that's just the key of moving it to those wide sides there. There's a lot of room to run, so we'll see if we continue to see that from Trinity.
So 2nd down and 7. Tebow up the middle for a short gain. And that'll be 3rd down and 4 yards. So third down, and we'll say 4 yards to go. So they can pick up another first down, so we'll see if they get that, and then they get 4 tries to get in from what would amount to be about the 2-yard line. Alessandro keeping it himself and cutting to the right side.
Going to that wide side, Jeremy, and you got all sorts of space over there. He had the angle, and it's a foot race when you get to that point. I mean, there's so much room to run.
Right.
And, he just got the corner, and Alessandro just beat the defense to the pylon.
Plus sending all your running backs to the left side. As you see, all 3 running backs go to the left side.
Lebanon clearly bit.
And then Alessandro just has to beat it to the corner. He's got one pulling guard kind of helping him out, and he gets into the end zone. Not really much of a problem. And the extra point pending with the lead. 6-0 right now for Trinity.
Anytime you get a touchdown play like that where the scorer is untouched, you know it was a very nicely designed play. So kudos to the coaching staff of Trinity.
And they're going to go for 2 here on the 2-point conversion attempt. There's going to be a penalty, false start, and that means probably trot the field goal unit out there, extra point, special teams unit.
Which did not go good on the short field goal here, so I'm curious to see how this goes.
So this one will be just about at the 15, so a 25-yard extra point.
Not great kicking conditions either for the kickers. It's going to be tough to get good footing.
No, it's not. So Trinity on top, 6-0, 6:20 to play in quarter number 1, going for the extra point. Ball is down, and the kick is blocked, and that's not going to do it. It's going to be returnable, and they're going to whistle that one dead, so the extra point is no good. The Trinity Pioneers lead the Lebanon Raiders 6-0 here in the early going YCN Game of the Week.
No matter what season it is, you can always find the best in American and Italian cuisine at Bubba's Bar and Grill in Newbury, New Hampshire. Stop in to enjoy our fresh salads, hearty sandwiches, brick oven pizzas, the award-winning seafood chowder, and a new seasonal menu just right for the cooler months. Dine in or take out. You can check out our full lunch and dinner menus along with daily specials on our website each day as well. Bubba's Bar and Grill, just 2 miles from Mount Sunapee in the beautiful harbor of Newbury, New Hampshire.
Welcome back. Trinity Pioneers are on top, 6-0. Lebanon Raiders will look to get the ball for their second offensive possession. Jeremy Stout, Scott Quimby here from Wildcat Stadium, Division III championship. And this one is returnable by the Raiders all the way up to the 34-yard line, and that's where Lebanon will take over for their second offensive possession.
Yeah, both kick returns we've seen have been pretty successful. There's a lot of room. It was Niodi on the return, and he kind of had to run backwards on it. It almost surprised him the depth of the kick, but after he returned it, he did have space and got a pretty good return out to the 33.
So last drive, 5 plays, 40 yards, culminating with the touchdown from Peter Alessandro, the 5-yard rushing touchdown. And then the false start on the 2-point conversion attempt, the missed extra point. That's where we sit 6-0. And first play from scrimmage here on this drive, the Raiders, not much, maybe a half a yard, maybe a yard, and that'll bring up second down.
I've been giving credit to Lebanon's defense here today already, particularly their defensive line, but this Trinity defense is nothing to write home about. I guess they are something to write home about? I don't know.
Do you write home about if it's good or bad?
They're good, let's put it that way. And, they're showing it so far here today, and they're really focusing on stuff in the run. They got the interception, creating the turnovers.
There's a direct snap to the running back, so kind of a little trickery. Coach Childs going a little bit deeper into the playbook to try and get something going, as they really have had no luck on the ground. That one picks up about 3 yards, and then, of course, the one pass was intercepted. So just trying to get something going here.
It's a direct snap, but, it is still kind of a draw up the middle. Basically a quarterback draw with a running back making the play, and Trinity defense all over it again.
Watch our Yankee Chronicle every week on this station at 8 p.m. on Saturdays, followed by Wicked Yankee. If you miss any of our local programs on our 3 YCN network stations, you can always watch them anytime on our website at ycnnow.com.
Again, a lot of time.
And this time, he's going to keep it and run it. That's Jonathan Williman. Basically the same play and the same amount of time as the interception. This time he said, I'm going to tuck it and I'm going to go.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. The Trinity defense is on these pass plays only rushing like 4 guys, and Lebanon's line is holding up beautifully, and Williman's getting all day back there. This time he saw the secondary all kind of pull back and go with the receivers. Nobody set up front there. They were clearly playing like a man defense, and Williman took advantage of it and got a first down.
And, you do have – both teams have really good running backs, but Lebanon, I think, has the quarterback advantage in passing. Williman, a better passer, and so he kind of has that dual threat where if you want to drop 7 guys into coverage, you got to be careful because Williman is going to then get on the ground, and he's going to run the football as we see the handoff there, a short gain. So Williman, he's saying, hey, if you want to drop 7 back, I'm not going to be baited into an interception too many times, and we saw it last time.
And also, to add on to that, if they're going to drop 7 back, I mean, he can just turn around and give it to Rainey. I mean, it hasn't worked yet today. They're struggling getting Rainey going so far, but that's always a threat too. And if you're only, if your line's only bringing 3 or 4, Rainey might get a few busted here and get some big chunk plays.
So that snap was kind of bobbled, but came down with it was Rainey, and then he cuts to the outside. He's hit by a defender after maybe a gain of a couple yards, and that'll bring up 3rd down.
It seemed like a design quarterback sweep. I mean, it was bobbled, you're right. But
then he cut right to the outside.
I think the coaches are kind of seeing the same thing. Like, they're dropping guys back, and they can get their quarterbacks, their speed guys to the outside and maybe beat this defense.
So that'll bring up 3rd down and 7 from the Raider 48-yard line. They've got to get across midfield and to the Pioneers 45. Rainey again lining up in the shotgun. He's got 4 wide receivers, including one going in motion, which is number 22. And Williman is going to keep it himself. So a nice job there by Jonathan Williman. Big gain all the way up to the 41-yard line. 1st down, Raiders.
These Williman scrambles are clearly the most effective thing this Lebanon offense has done so far. I would not slow him down if I was the Lebanon coaching staff. I would say keep at it. You do you. And if they're giving you holes 10 yards at a time, certainly take them. He is taking some big hits, though. He might want to think about sliding.
Yeah, sliding or starting to go out towards the sidelines. Even the play before that where he took a big hit, he could have gone out of bounds, but he chose to try and get that extra yard. So here we go again, 1st down and 10 from the 41-yard line. And once again, Williman in the shotgun. He's got Rainey, and then the handoff up the middle after the fake handoff on the jet sweep, the fake sweep. It'll cross the 40-yard line to about the 38-yard line. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Yeah, I mean, these straight handoffs to Rainey is really what the Trinity defense seems to be focused on. I mean, they're shutting him out of the game so far. So the coaching staff tries to do a little fake action to Rainey there and give it to the fullback and try to make something happen. And, I mean, 3 yards on 1st down is not terrible, but it's also not great. So they need to find some sort of alternate offense other than Williman scrambling here.
So that was Philip Mellish, the senior, who got the call there, and he's in the backfield again. This time, going to drop back and pass, a little overthrown. That one was intended for Wade Rainey, and Williman overthrows him. 2nd down, or third down, excuse me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, the other receivers didn't appear to open on that play either, but Rainey was covered. It would have been a perfect pass to make that play happen, and, you obviously want to err on the side of caution and throw a little deeper where the defenders definitely can't get it, and I think that's what Williman was doing there.
So a 3rd down and 7. And if you are the Raiders, it's clearly 4-down territory. You're not kicking a long field goal, and you don't need to really punt it, especially the way your offense has been a little sluggish. If you can pick up 5 yards at least here, you've got a short 4th down. So we'll see what they do here as Williman hands it off, and up the middle, maybe to the 35-yard line, goes the ball carrier before he's tackled. That'll bring up a 4th down.
Yeah, I'm assuming the Lebanon coaching staff was thinking the same way you were with the run play there, thinking it was 2-down territory. And, that run play obviously creates a shorter 4th down here, and they got more options to pick up the 1st down.
So it'll be Fourth down here and about 5 yards, and we've got a timeout on the field. 6-0 Trinity over Lebanon. We'll take a break. You're watching the YCN Game of the Week.
William A. Smith Auction Gallery hosts 45 auctions a year. Our customer base is worldwide, and our reputation is for honesty and fairness.
Right there, $5,000, $3,000. I got two there, thank you. 20.
Join us for one of our live auctions. Check out the auction schedule on our website. Auction day is lively and fun.
Sold $3,381. Yeah, sold $253. Sold $850 straight away.
We look forward to seeing you on auction day.
At H.R. Clough and Kearsarge Heating, we sell, install, tune, and repair heating and cooling systems and deliver your fuel oil and propane. But we're much more. H.R. Clough installs water conditioning systems to purify your water and add life to your hot water heating system. Now is the perfect time for one of our expert staff to evaluate your needs. For a free estimate, call H.R. Clough today. Over 4 generations of local ownership and dependable service.
And out of the fourth down play, it falls incomplete. And it'll be Trinity football as the Raiders trying to get that fourth down and get some momentum going. Their offense really hasn't done much today, and they tried to do something there. Couldn't quite do it. So the Pioneers will take over. Let's take another look at this one. Here it is, scrambling and then kind of throwing to one guy, but he was triple covered and not a smart throw.
So you could say it's not a smart throw, but the other guys were covered too, and it's fourth down. If you don't get it, they get the ball here. If you throw an incomplete pass, they get the ball here. If it's intercepted, the chances are it works as a punt, and it actually would hurt Trinity in that situation. So, I mean, it was an aggressive throw, I'd call it. I don't know if it was a poor decision. It was an aggressive decision, but one you got to make on fourth down.
So that'll bring up second down now for the Pioneers as the 3-yard rush, and Trinity with the ball at the 38-yard line. They're the only ones who have had a lot of success on offense, and it really hasn't been a ton. Their first drive was stalled out after a nice kickoff return, but then they did have the 40-yard drive that did score the touchdown, and see if they can get something going here.
Big part of that drive, though, was just that one big chunk play through the air. Obviously, the touchdown was a nicely designed play, but, I mean, it's a 4-yard play.
Yeah, the big pass play to Jacob Brown.
So, I mean, Trinity has not exactly been moving the ball, other than that, again, one big chunk play. So, I think both teams need to get it going here.
So third down and 2.
Yeah, these conditions don't make it easy to get it going, so.
Yeah, not really a lot of yardage for both teams. And it's been mostly a lot of rushing. As you mentioned, Jacob Brown with that long catch. Now here's third down and 2 for the Pioneers. And the handoff to the left side. Nicely done there, and a big first down. And that's number 30, James Tebow, the sophomore, with the first down across the 50-yard line.
Yeah, they're all worried about the other Tebow, and they bring out the younger brother. A nice sweep play there, a reverse-type run, and big hole the offensive line opened up. And other than that pass play, the longest play of the game here for Trinity.
Today's game is being brought to you in part by Mascoma Savings Bank, mutually owned with no shareholders to please. If you want your local game, event, parade, or concert televised into YCN's broadcast area, contact us at info@ycnnow.com. So that's going to do it the end of the first quarter here in Durham, New Hampshire. Division III championship, Trinity 6, Lebanon nothing. YCN Game of the Week. Wow.
But no one dared to go inside.
There's a place for wood in your backyard. We recommend the Fire Pit. For looks and performance that outlast a wooden deck, make sure your next deck is built with Trex, the world's #1 premium decking brand.
Trex products are available at LaValley Middleton Building Supply. Visit us at lavalleys.com.
Welcome back. Start of the second quarter here as the Pioneers with first down and 10. Running to the outside, Alessandro, and the first down along the right, 5-yard gain along the right side. Didn't quite get down to the first down marker.
Yeah, Jeremy, both these offenses seem to have something with the quarterbacks scrambling outside the pocket. Alessandro with a touchdown, obviously, earlier, and that was a solid first down gain. I bet we see a lot more of that as this game goes on.
Yeah, we obviously have known that the passing isn't really going to be hot today, and both these defenses are really focused on stopping the running backs. So you're right, that option might be the best option as we see the handoff, though, this time to Taylor, and he's able to kind of scat towards the first down marker, and he gets to the 35, and that will be a first down for the Pioneers.
Yeah, shocking so far that we haven't seen more John Tebow, but Taylor had a good kick return, and they're trying to feed the hot hands here as the Lebanon defense focuses to shut down the Tebow brothers.
For over 11 years, Bubba's Bar and Grill has been providing hungry patrons with high-quality food and friendly service with a mission of delivering a remarkable experience to every visitor. And Bubba likes to remind you, we're having a lot of fun here. And the handoff again up the middle. Maybe 4 yards, maybe to the 30-yard line, just shy of the 30-yard line. So the Pioneers on the drive again, looking to punch one in. They already lead 6-0. Lebanon really struggling to move the ball, and as you mentioned, Pioneers struggling a little bit as well. Just a couple big plays, and obviously the big kickoff return to start the game got them down to scoring position, and then kind of stalled out.
That's essentially the biggest play of the game.
That is the biggest play, right.
The opening kick return all the way down the 18-yard line, and unfortunately for Trinity, they couldn't even get 3 on the board. So, it's been a tough game, a bit of a stalemate here. It is 6-0. Trinity is on the board, but it's going to be a low-scoring game here, I think.
2nd down and 6 under center, and then the handoff, and almost wrapped up at the line of scrimmage, but then able to fall forward for a handful of yards is number 24, John Tebow. And as we mentioned, hadn't seen him too much, but there he gets in, and he gets a handful of yards on that carry.
Well, that's a good example of what's happening. Lebanon they were there on him on the play immediately, and he's good enough that he still gets positive yardage out of it, but it does show you that Lebanon is definitely focusing on taking him away and eliminating that weapon from this Trinity offense.
He's carried the ball 5 times, only 14 yards, so less than 3 yards per carry. And then on the other hand, his brother with 3 carries for 16 yards on the day, over 5.3 yards per carry. So 3rd down and 3 for the Pioneers. And this time the pitch to the left side. Plenty of room. Nice lead block there. And around the corner goes Tebow, and he's going to go into the end zone. Touchdown, John Tebow.
Can only hold him back for so long. That was one of those beautiful plays. Pitch outside. They got him a lot of space, let him use his speed. And, it's not that Lebanon wasn't there. Tebow's just faster than them, and he just got down the sideline and blew him away.
And you got the really nice 2 lead blocks, as we see. You got one right there by Taylor, and then the offensive lineman kind of getting out in front, just slowing down the defense enough. And then Tebow hits the corner, and then basically then it's a foot race to the pylon. Touchdown, Pioneers.
Yeah, Dontre Taylor looks like he took one of the guys away there, and then there was a quick broken tackle. Other than that, again, it was just Tebow, foot race to the sideline, beating the secondary of Lebanon to the pylon.
So 12-0 timeout on the field. Pioneers want to talk it over before the 2-point conversion. It's 12-0. You're watching the YCN Game of the Week.
I had broken my humerus. I went home in the care of the VNA, and I met a group of women that I'll never forget. All of them were, in a way, just the most therapeutic and totally understanding people I think I've ever met.
Lake Sunapee Region VNA and Hospice is your locally managed nonprofit home health care provider. It's your choice. Ask for us by name when home is where you want to be.
Welcome back. 12-0 here in Durham, New Hampshire, where the Pioneers lead the Raiders. They've just scored to go up by 12, looking to get the 2-point conversion to go up 14. So after the timeout, see what Trinity has drawn up.
Yeah, no surprise they're going for 2 here. The kicking game has not been successful so far. The bad low miss and then the block on the extra point. So they're looking to make some points up.
And this time the handoff and stop just short of the end zone. Let's see, no signal yet. And still nothing. And they are going to say it is good. So that one goes in. That's John Tebow. They get the 14-0 lead, 9:39 to play here before halftime. Division III championship football game. You're watching YCN.
Hi, this is Tom Hoyt, the social media coordinator for Mascoma Bank, and it's time to introduce our Student of the Month. Lebanon High School selecting Aaron Caruso, a senior. Aaron has had to overcome family challenges and is supporting himself by working a full-time job and is enrolled in a full schedule of classes, including 2 sciences. He comes to school every day with a positive attitude. He calls out his peers when they're negative. Most people not realizing the hardship because of all of his optimism. He's personable, pleasant, engaging both with his peers and his staff, and he's embraced the Lebanon High School community. As one teacher said, "I'm positive that the support he gets here has helped him persevere, and they're amazed by his strength every day." Mascoma Bank is a certified B Corporation and has been mutually owned since 1899. We strive to be a force for positive change for our customers, communities, and employees. Mascoma Bank, member FDIC, and an equal housing lender.
Welcome back. YCN Game of the Week. Trinity Pioneers kicking off to the Lebanon Raiders, and a little bit of a short kick. That's fielded by Williman, and the ball is loose on the field.
Fumble there. Trinity was very excited, but it looks like Lebanon jumped on it.
And they will say it is Lebanon football. So, yeah, the sideline, far sideline there, getting a little excited. But it will be Lebanon football after the nice 8-play, 64-yard drive by the Pioneers. And that was capped off by the touchdown run from John Tebow, 26 yards out, and then the 2-point conversion.
And the first sustained drive we've seen so far, really. I mean, Trinity actually put a succession of plays together. Something we hadn't seen from either teams in the first quarter. So here we are now in the second quarter with 9:28 left. And maybe we'll start to see the offenses get going.
Maybe it took them a little while to get going and see if the Raiders can get anything going here. They have not had a lot of success turning it over on downs last drive after a 10-play, 31-yard drive. And then, of course, throwing the interception on their first drive. And that one will really go for not much of a gain. That's Wade Rainey up the middle, maybe 3-4 yards, and they do spot the ball at the 49-yard line, so they'll give him 4 yards and bring up 2nd down and 6. The YCN scoreboard sponsor is LaValle Building Supply, home improvement and construction from concept to completion. Our YCN Game of the Week goes live with basketball this winter. Our first game is at Hopkinton, hosting the Newport Girls Friday, December 6th at 7 p.m. on cable and at ycnnow.com. And there's a big hole, nice run there by Rainey, and he gets a first down across midfield at the 41-yard line of the Pioneers.
That's a good sign for Lebanon here. Come out, good field position, first of all, with a little squib kick and a solid return on it. But to come out and give 2 plays in a row to Rainey and pick up the first down, some good yardage, that's exactly what they need.
So they'll set up at the 41-yard line of Trinity and see what they do again here. And that was, again, Rainey on the carry. Longest carry of the day, 10 yards. And once again, give it right back to him. Another 5-yard gain, and maybe they're finding something in that defensive line. They're figuring out their blocking assignments, and Rainey picking up some nice yards.
Yeah, I mean, again, 5 yards on first down is fantastic. We got a little trouble over there with the down marker. It says 3rd down. Oh, now we're switching to 2nd down. Okay. We're good now, but that's a good first down play, 5 yards.
Yep.
You'll take that every time, and like I said right before that play, if they can get Rainey going, this is a good sign for the Lebanon offense, something that they absolutely need.
And Williman in the shotgun, dropping back to his left, looking downfield. He's got a man, and it is complete along the sideline, then cutting back inside, and that looks like it was number 85, Cole Ames, the senior tight end, and that's a first down at the 17-yard line.
You run Rainey 3 times in a row, and it looks like you're starting to get something going on the ground. You do a little play action. You do a rollout to Cole Ames, and even though you can see here, he's throwing a little awkwardly off his foot there, he's still, I mean, Ames is just so wide open on the play. He just leaked out as the tight end. Nobody picked him up. Easy first down.
Had a nice job to stay inbounds and pick up almost another 10 yards, and that puts him in good position here on first down, and then kind of the direct snap, and then Rainey is tackled at maybe the 16-yard line, so only a yard or 2 there, and go back to the ground, and Pioneers come up with a good defensive stop.
Last play excluded, Jeremy. This is exactly what Lebanon needed to do this drive. They've marched it downfield. They're in the red zone. looking to put up points, which they absolutely need to do, down 14-0 already, halfway through the second quarter.
Yeah, they've really, you want to say they struggled a little bit. Obviously, the last drive they had 10 plays, but only went for 31 yards. This drive's already been 5 plays, 39 yards, and they're trying to get something in the end zone on second down. Again, the direct snap, and then off to the right side. Running to that short side, as you mentioned, flag coming in, and only a few yards. That's in the area of holding.
Yeah, of course, if your line's doing good enough, you can still run to that short side, but there's certainly not as much space to work with, obviously. I mean, that's just physics, as they call it. Not that I'm an expert. I'm actually not good at physics at all, but that's beside the point. But you can just see, like, that's the third direct snap to Rainey we've seen on this drive. I mean, they're making an effort, a conscious effort to get him the ball as much as possible.
And that one is going to be a holding, so they'll back it up 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Looks like they're going to spot that at the 26-yard line, and that's where Raiders will have second down. So they've got to get to the 7-yard line. So second down and 19 for the Raiders. They've got really 4 downs to get. They're going to go for it on fourth down if they don't get it in. So they've got 3 downs to get to the 7-yard line.
I mean, we obviously don't know their kicking situation, but, I'm trying to just pick up a nice little 7-8 yard gain here. I'm not going for a home run if I'm Lebanon.
And a lot of time again, and kind of forcing it in, and incomplete, as that one was triple covered. It looked like Rainey was triple covered, basically.
It's exactly the type of risk I wouldn't take in that situation. I mean, you already got the ball downfield here, and you can see, I mean, he's
plenty of time again.
He's got time. He's got a good pocket. He just kind of tried to force it in there to, like you said, there's 4 Trinity defensive backs there. There had to have been better options out there for him to throw to.
Stay tuned at the end of our telecast for the H.R. Clough Kearsarge Heating Turning Up the Heat Player of the Game. We will choose the team member that had the greatest impact on today's game. So they'll bring up third down and long, 3rd and 19 in the shotgun again. Trying to get something going are the Raiders. After the holding penalty, dropped them back in a lot of time here. Finally, just going to break it out and get the run, almost back to the original line of scrimmage, but he's tripped up, and Williman not able to get much there inside the 20 at the 19-yard line.
It's just a nice job by Trinity's pass coverage. I mean, he was looking downfield. Again, he had all day to throw, and he couldn't find a single receiver open to throw to, and he kind of had to just pull it down and scramble. Unfortunately, the defensive backs jumped up and got him. Now it's 4th and long.
Yeah, now it's 4th and long, and you're clearly not going to be kicking what would amount to basically a 37-yard field goal. And you got to go for it here and hope you can get something going. So Williman will be in the shotgun, and Mellish will be flanked out to his left. Plenty of time here once again. There's only about 4 defenders that are rushing, and finally throwing it into the end zone and complete. Touchdown Raiders. Scrambling around nicely and finally finding Wade Rainey, I believe that was, and a touchdown for the Raiders.
Yeah, that's just a great job coming back to the football. The quarterback scrambling out.
And I mean, plenty of time. You can see in the screen here, there's only 4 white jerseys, so he's got plenty of time, but that means there's 7 guys in coverage, and he forces that one into double coverage, but threaded the needle. Touchdown Raiders.
I mean, that's not Rainey's route there that he's running. He it was kind of scrambled drill. It was a lot of time with the ball in the QB's hands. Rainey went to the back of the end zone. He was coming back forward just to get open, get himself open. Beautiful scramble drill right there.
So the extra point coming here to try and cut that deficit to 7. The kick is up, and it is good. So Raiders are on the board. They trail 14-7, 5:07 to play here before half. Division III championship game on YCN.
The New Hampshire Heritage Collection by M.J. Harrington Jewelers is imagined and designed by our craftsmen, inspired by the natural beauty and special places that make New Hampshire extraordinary. The Old Man of the Mountain, Common Loon, Covered Bridge, Sap Bucket, and New Hampshire Lakes Collection are tributes to the story of the Granite State, made in America, handcrafted, uniquely yours, from M.J. Harrington Jewelers.
Warner's Main Street Bookends has been your community bookstore since 1998 and voted Yankee Magazine's Editor's Pick Must-See Bookstore. Bookends is a full-service store offering a huge selection of current fiction and nonfiction with children's book selection, toys, and games. Bookends has a huge card selection for all occasions, along with Main Street Marketplace and Gallery in the attached barn. 100% solar, Main Street Bookends of Warner is building your community one book at a time.
Welcome back. YCN Game of the Week. Lebanon Raiders just scored to make it 14-7. They kick off to the Pioneers of Trinity, a short kick that was fielded at about the 30-yard line and then returned just across the 40-yard line. And Trinity will go back on offense after scoring a touchdown on their last drive. And finally, these offenses maybe come to life.
Yeah, we're starting to see a little something there, and Lebanon put together a bunch of plays themselves. I mean, they answered a good drive with a good drive, and that's exactly what they needed to do. They started with a good field position on the drive, and made Trinity play. Now Trinity here on the same hand, Lebanon just tried a squib kick, and Tebow makes a great play on a tough bouncing ball, and now they're going to start with a good field position themselves here at the 41.
So Lebanon 8 plays, 55 yards, capped off by the 20-yard touchdown pass. Williman and Rainey connecting on that one, and the extra point, making it 14-7, and then a nice defensive effort there. Really nowhere to go for Trinity, and the ball on the ground. It will stay with the Pioneers, and that'll bring up second down.
Kind of the first unforced error I think we've seen from Trinity there. It didn't look like the snap was clean, and unfortunately Alessandro fumbled it looked like, and the play just went nowhere.
Back to the line of scrimmage at the 41-yard line. So second down and 10. Alessandro in the shotgun, 4 wide receivers. And going in motion is Tebow. They fake the sweep there and then bobbled, or it's tipped, or maybe it was hit, actually. The quarterback, I believe, was hit, and it kind of went straight up in the air.
Yeah, some wild stuff happening there. I mean, the ball was clearly coming out of the quarterback's hand wobbly. It's tough to tell if it's tipped in that situation or not. And then as a defender, you got to decide, because if it is tipped, you can tackle the receiver.
Right.
He's fair game. There's no pass interference at that point. The Trinity receiver did actually get it before the defender hit him, but he was right on him. Made a great play and still broke it up.
So they'll go third down and 10 from the 41-yard line. Once again, 4 wide receivers. Alessandro in the shotgun, and again they'll bring Tebow in motion, and again he'll keep it. Alessandro will be flushed out of the pocket, looking downfield, shedding 3 tacklers, and then finally brought down out of bounds. Doesn't quite get to the marker. It'll be 4th and short.
That was a bit late on the tackle. He was quite a ways out of bounds. I don't think they did throw a flag, but almost identical to the last play, the design.
So there might be a flag over there. I'm trying to see through the raindrops where we are, and the referees are huddling together, and they will give it a personal foul call against the Raiders. As you see here, he was clearly kind of spinning himself out and then pulled down.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a little late. Certainly not an intentional malicious act, but certainly a mistake by the Lebanon defense, as the quarterback was clearly a couple steps out of bounds, and the whistle had blown.
So that'll bring up first down and 10. They'll spot the ball all the way down to the Raider 37-yard line. That's where the Pioneers will have it here. Today's game is being brought to you in part by Ramunto's Brick Oven Pizza. You're never too far from great food and good times at Ramunto's, the locally owned restaurants that make freshness taste so good. First down and 10 for the Pioneers. This time they hand it to Tebow. They've done 3 plays, and they haven't given it to him, and this time they do. The Raiders are ready for it. 5-yard loss, back to the 41-yard line.
Yeah, it seems like Trinity was almost trying to set that play up, right? I mean, they had the same formation, the same motion 3 times in a row, and this is the first time they actually do give it to Tebow, and Lebanon was ready for it. I mean, they didn't fall for the fake there, so good job on the Lebanon defense.
So they'll spot the ball at the 40-yard line. That'll bring up a loss of 3, so second down and 13. Raiders trying to get off the field here if they can make a couple more stops and get the ball back, as Trinity looking to go in the end zone again and get on top by more than 7, which they currently sit. So timeout on the field. The Trinity Pioneers leading the Lebanon Raiders 14-7. You're watching the YCN Game of the Week.
Why is it always time for pizza in New England? Because Ramonto's brick oven pizzas are popping up everywhere. With dough made fresh daily and baked in brick ovens, plus pasta, sandwiches, and artisan salads always from fresh ingredients, you're never far from good times and great food at Ramonto's. Ramonto's brick oven pizzas are the locally owned restaurants that make freshness taste so good. Want a piece of the pie? Visit ramontos.com for franchise opportunities.
Welcome back. YCN Game of the Week. Jeremy Stout, Scott Quimby. And second down, Trinity wants to talk it over here and see what they come up with out of the timeout. This game is being brought to you by Top Stitch Embroidery, the best for your team and so much more. With both embroidery and screen printing in-house, their team will make your team look the best that it can be. Second down and long here, and this time it'll be kept and breaking free. Alessandro along the left sideline on the keeper. He's able to get a big gain and a first down.
And again, for the 4th time in a row, they have Tebow in motion from the receiver position, and they fake it to him, and Alessandro just kept it himself and went right up the middle.
And that'll be a first down and 10 at the 10-yard line. So they'll go first and goal at the 10. And couldn't quite get a replay on that one. We'll try that one again. But we do have Alessandro under center, Tebow and Taylor behind him.
This time they're in a more traditional power run formation.
And this one handed off to Tebow and pushing the pile forward, still going forward, inside the 5-yard line. Nice 6-yard run there from Tebow.
Yeah, they get down inside, goal to go. They don't try anything fancy at this point. They get their all-star Tebow, and they just turn around and hand him the ball, which is probably the smart thing to do. Play it safe here, and, if it takes you 4 plays to get in the end zone, so be it. That's less time Lebanon's going to have to answer, and you can go in here at halftime with a 2-score lead.
So under center, and then the handoff this time, it goes to the younger Tebow. That's James Tebow, and he is in for the touchdown.
Yeah, short yardage, just power running. Great job here by Trinity. Put some points on the board and open the lead back up to 2 scores.
20-7 now, as we see the handoff just kind of off tackle and makes one man miss, and he's in the end zone.
I mean, he's not lined up far behind the quarterback. It's just a turnaround quick hitter, and, it's just you got to trust your offensive line power, and that's what it was.
So the extra point coming. The Pioneers have not had a lot of success with the kicking game, so they'll try and get one here as they lead 20-7. 2:32 to play. Kick is up, and this one is good. So the Pioneers go on top, 21-7, 2:32 to play here before halftime at Wildcat Stadium. You're watching the YCN Game of the Week. Was that the right one?
That was the one. The old power driver.
Why is it always time for pizza in New England? Because Ramonto's brick oven pizzas are popping up everywhere. With dough made fresh daily and baked in brick ovens, plus pasta, sandwiches, and artisan salads always from fresh ingredients, you're never far from good times and great food at Ramonto's. Ramonto's brick oven pizzas are the locally owned restaurants that make freshness taste so good. Want a piece of the pie? Visit ramontos.com for franchise opportunities.
And the squib kick here by the Pioneers is fielded at about the 37-yard line, and that's where the Raiders will take over after the touchdown drive from Trinity. And they have gone up 21-7. And the Raiders now trying to get a score here before the halftime and answer that 7-play, 59-yard drive. And it was capped off on the 3-yard touchdown by James Tebow. And here the Raiders take over at the 37-yard line. They could get the double score when they do get the ball in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting to see how Lebanon attacks this here. There's only 2:26 on the clock. I mean, it sort of is a 2-minute drill situation.
2 timeouts.
They got a long ways to go. They got the ball at the 38. They got 2 timeouts to work with, but it would be huge for them in this championship game to get a score here before halftime and have a chance to get the ball back and really get back into this thing.
Pass downfield, and that is picked off. And that's going to be Taylor, I believe. Dontre Taylor picking it off at the 37-yard line. And just like that, Pioneers get the football back.
Yeah, that is the opposite of what they needed. Now the Pioneers have a chance to go down and open this thing up even more. Williman kind of just threw it up, it looked like. Let's see, throws off his back foot. I mean, there's, 3 receivers, 3 defenders there. It was kind of a jump ball, Hail Mary type pass almost. And I don't think that's exactly what you want on first down.
He was trying to get it to Calvin Bates, as you saw number 2 there. He was open, but by the time he got the ball downfield, the defense had kind of caught up, and that was the problem.
The way Williman threw the ball off his back foot, you can't get the power you need on the ball to get to the receiver in time. It's going to get some arc and some hang time and give the defenders a chance to get there, and I think that's what we saw.
So that'll be first down run. About 8 yards, second down and 2 for the Pioneers, and it looks like they'll take their time. They're not going to rush into this one, but they would love to score one more here before halftime. Shu is the tight end. He's back up.
And this is extremely important. Like, here's another good run here for Trinity, but that should be a first down. This is a very important defensive drive here for Lebanon. They cannot allow more points. You can't have a 3-score game going into halftime in the championship if you expect to win. They gotta make a stand here against Trinity.
And Trinity only with the 1 timeout, so it'll be interesting to see what they do. Maybe try to break one, and if they do, they use it and then maybe get something in, but they're clearly not in their hurry-up offense.
Yeah, and if you're Trinity, you're going to play this somewhat conservatively. You're already up 14 points. I mean, you're going to make sure you don't turn the ball over and give a scoring chance to Lebanon, so I wouldn't be surprised if they kind of take it easy and then maybe just with inside 30 seconds take a shot or 2.
Today's game is being brought to you in part by William A. Smith Auction Gallery, who hosts 45 auctions yearly, many in their auction house in Plainfield, New Hampshire. Check out the auction schedule on their website. Second down and 6. Inside a minute to play here before the half. And under center, 3 running backs behind him is Alessandro. This time the handoff to the younger Tebow, and he gains few yards. It'll bring up third down and short.
I mean, they're getting solid runs here, Trinity, but obviously we are at the 30-second mark now, so we'll see if they actually do want to try to put some points up. This would be the time. Third and short, be a good play action down to maybe throw one over the middle and call a timeout. Try to set yourself up for a score.
Today's game is being brought to you in part by Echo Communications. Call them for all your printing needs. Our YCN Game of the Week goes live with basketball this winter. Our first game is at Hopkinton, hosting the Newport Girls Friday, December the 6th at 7 p.m. on cable and at YCNnow.com.
Very interesting decision here for Trinity. They're going to just go for a Hail Mary. They let the clock run down, and yeah, I mean, the pass only got to the 21. I think that's a bit of a bizarre play call, if you don't mind me saying.
So that is going to do it. 000 on the scoreboard at halftime here from Wildcat Stadium in Durham, New Hampshire. It's 21-7 Division III halftime championship. You're watching the YCN Game of the Week.
No matter what season it is, you can always find the best in American and Italian cuisine at Bubba's Bar and Grill in Newbury, New Hampshire. Stop in to enjoy our fresh salads, hearty sandwiches, brick oven pizzas, the award-winning seafood chowder, and a new seasonal menu just right for the cooler months. Dine in or take out. You can check out our full lunch and dinner menus along with daily specials on our website each day as well. Bubba's Bar and Grill, just 2 miles from Mount Sunapee in the beautiful harbor of Newbury, New Hampshire.
William A. Smith Auction Gallery hosts 45 auctions a year. Our customer base is worldwide, and our reputation is for honesty and fairness.
Rolex right there, $5,000, $3,000. I got two there, thank you. 20.
Join us for one of our live auctions. Check out the auction schedule on our website. Auction day is lively and fun.
Sold $3,381. Yeah, sold $253. Sold $850 straight away.
We look forward to seeing you on auction day.
Welcome to Yankee Chronicle. I'm your host, Elizabeth Durazio, and
I'm your host, Abby Peel.
coming to you from the town of Hopkinton.
Coming to you from the New London Barn Playhouse. Thanks for having us.
Thank you for coming on this beautiful day.
Beautiful day, perfect spring day.
We've been here as a staple in many of the communities. And
so many people that you get to meet and a wonderful community that you feel like you're always welcome in.
With this great opportunity of opening a restaurant that's really community focused.
So join us again next week
for a new edition of Yankee Chronicle.
In beautiful Plymouth, New Hampshire, 1766 Brewing is a new local favorite, serving classic pub fare and unique full-flavored beers with nano-quality brewing, specializing in handcrafted small batch artisan beer. That's because the brewing and second tap room is just down the road behind the Last Chair restaurant. And did we mention it's a great place to have a great time?
A casual, easygoing, fun place to stop. It doesn't matter what you're wearing. The atmosphere inside is fantastic, and I think it's for everybody.
At H.R. Clough and Kearsarge Heating, we sell, install, tune, and repair heating and cooling systems and deliver your fuel oil and propane. But we're much more. With more frequent major weather events, don't say again, I should have installed a generator. H.R. Clough provides the best home generator systems available from Generac. Our highly trained personnel provide you a complete turnkey installation. For a free estimate, call the H.R. Clough Company today. Over 4 generations of local ownership and dependable service.
There's a big difference between a big box store and a LaValle Middleton Building Supply.
When you're a local store, you need to compete with the bigger chains. So we've combined our purchasing power with over 300 independent lumberyard and home centers, and we've passed those savings on to you.
Our customers have grown up with our stores, and now their kids are shopping here with our kids.
We have everything you need for any home improvement project you can think of.
And the possibilities are endless.
If we had a motto, it would be neighbors helping neighbors build a community.
Simple solutions in a challenging world. Let Echo Communications make your life simpler. From the beginning, creating design through the commercial print process and ending with custom mailing, all easily coordinated in one place. Echo Communications provides simple solutions in a challenging world. One place, many solutions. Learn more at echocominc.com.
I had broken my humerus. I went home in the care of the VNA, and I met a group of women that I'll never forget. All of them were, in a way, just the most therapeutic and totally understanding people I think I've ever met.
Lake Sunapee Region VNA and Hospice is your locally managed nonprofit home health care provider. It's your choice. Ask for us by name when home is where you want to be.
Welcome back to Wildcat Stadium here on the campus of University of New Hampshire in Durham, New Hampshire. Jeremy Stout, Scott Quimby, as we are at halftime here in the Division III state championship game between the Lebanon Raiders and the Trinity Pioneers. And really, Scott, it's been all Pioneers as they have gone out to the 21-7 lead. And not a lot of offense, but Pioneers have made their offensive possessions count, getting touchdowns.
And I feel like an idiot. I thought Lebanon was the favorite here coming in. Trinity's coming in like a powerhouse, and they're kind of bullying them right now. Lebanon hasn't been able to do anything on offense. Trinity's kind of shut them down so far, and their running attack, it had a slow start to it, but it really got going. Tebow, obviously, John had a big run. But Peter Alessandro is certainly moving the ball from the quarterback position down the field.
Yeah, he's clearly gotten more rushing yards than he has passing yards, as he has 7 rushes for 56 yards, along of 30, and he only has 29 passing yards on 1 completion on 3 attempts. So clearly they're running the football, and that's what they're focusing on.
Well, I mean, that's certainly true. They're certainly focused on running the ball, but Lebanon's the same way. I mean, they only have 2 completions. There's only been 3 completions here in the first half. It's, you know, if you're going to move the ball, it appears that it's going to have to be on the ground. Maybe you can get a surprise pass play for a big 20-yard gain or something, but for the most part, we're not seeing anything through the air.
So to finish out some of those stats for Trinity, we also have John Tebow with 10 rushes for 50 yards, James Tebow with 6 rushes for 36 yards, and Dontre Taylor 2 rushes for 15 yards. Peter Alessandro, as we mentioned, 1 for 3, 29 yards, and Jacob Brown, the tight end, with the big 29-yard catch. And over on the Lebanon side, as you mentioned, it's been all on the ground. Williman with 28, Rainey with 27, even kind of mixed in Mellish with 2, and then Ethan Price with a carry for a yard. And the 2 catches, one by Wade Rainey was a 29-yard reception, and Cole Ames 19. Obviously, Wade Rainey's was the touchdown reception.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at the second half, Lebanon's going to get the football. They did kind of avert crisis there at the end after the turnover. They didn't give up another touchdown, so they're down 3. You come out, you get a quick score. You know, you're still in this thing. What does Lebanon have to do to start off the second half?
Well, like you said, they're getting the ball back here. If they come down and score the ball, they're right back in it. I mean, that's kind of what they need to do almost at this point. They certainly can't turn the ball over anymore. The 2 interceptions, in my opinion, were both quite unforced and just kind of thrown into traffic. They just got to clean it up a little bit there. If they can get some semblance of a passing attack going, I think that would help the run game too. I mean, Rainey, we know, is a great running back, and he has 27 yards, but he has it on 9 carries. That's under 3 yards per carry. So they're not really moving the ball in any asset or facet of their game right now. So, yeah, they need to mix it up.
But if you're Williman, you know, you almost got to say, if you're Coach Child, you say to Williman, if you have no chance to throw, tuck the ball down and run, because we've seen him do that, and we've seen they drop 7 into coverage. There's 3 or 4 guys, and they're all being blocked, and he's kind of waited a little too long to run the ball, and then by that point, you know, some of the defensive linemen or some of the DBs have figured it out. I almost got to say, if I'm Coach Childs, say to this team, hey, if you got 3 seconds, if nobody's open, you just pull it down and run with
off.
that. Maybe give him
which
give him a spark.
Makes sense, and it would be certainly a better option than thrown into triple, quadruple coverage.
That's true.
And he's pulled the ball down 4 times for 28 yards, so it's not like it's been unsuccessful when he's done it.
Right.
That's probably a good idea if you're Coach Childs, and you know, either way, you either got to tell him to stop forcing the ball and take a sack, or pulling it down and running if you don't want to wait that long. Because what they're doing, I mean, 2 for 9 with 2 interceptions, or 2 for 7, sorry, with 2 interceptions, it's not getting the job done right now. And since they have no passing game, again, it's hurting the run game.
And if you are the Trinity Pioneers, obviously you're up 21-7. You come out and get a stop. That would be huge. You're running the ball nicely, as we mentioned, a couple rushing players already at 50 yards or more. That's all you got to do. Just keep giving the ball to the Tebows. And Alessandro, if you see an opening, just go for it.
100%. I mean, I'm not even trying to develop a passing game.
Right.
If I'm Trinity right now, I mean, they came out slow. Lebanon was, you know, pretty good stopping the run early, but Trinity really got something going there, you know, early in the second quarter, that first touchdown drive they had, and they haven't looked back since. This rushing attack has been very successful, and I'm just going to keep on building on that, especially with a 2-score lead. Chew up some clock and, you know, finish this game off with a W.
So it's Trinity and Lebanon at halftime here. The Pioneers of Trinity lead the Raiders of Lebanon 21-7. The Division III high school championship football game from Wildcat Stadium. We'll take a break and come back with the second half after this. You're watching the YCN Game of the Week.
Why is it always time for pizza in New England? Because Ramonto's Brick Oven Pizzas are popping up everywhere. With dough made fresh daily and baked in brick ovens, plus pasta, sandwiches, and artisan salads always from fresh ingredients, you're never far from good times and great food at Ramonto's. Ramonto's Brick Oven Pizzas are the locally owned restaurants that make freshness taste so good. Want a piece of the pie? Visit Ramontos.com for franchise opportunities.
To me, it was a no-brainer to switch to the Anderson 400 series window.
From the exterior of the house, you can't tell which windows are old and which windows are new. They're really very compatible.
I really appreciate the energy efficiency of the 400 series.
Anderson, in my opinion, is the heavyweight champion.
Someone once said that trust is always earned, never given. With a 70-year heritage of diamond expertise, M.J. Harrington Jewelers has earned the trust and respect of loyal customers for generations. Whether the occasion is a new beginning of life together or celebrating a decade's deep love, the professionals at Harrington's take time to understand our customers' dreams, then turn those dreams into exquisite reality. At M.J. Harrington Jewelers, trust is as precious as the fine diamonds we offer. We look forward to earning your trust.
Hi, this is Tom Hoyt, the social media coordinator for Mascoma Bank, and it's time to introduce our Student of the Month. Congratulations to junior Hannah Talkman, nominated as the Kearsarge Regional High School Student of the Month. She's guided many new members to SWOCO and involved them in the team. Hannah's positive energy is contagious and led to a fantastic CARE, Community Actions Resulting in Experiences, conference at Colby Sawyer College with more than 120 participants. Hannah is an honor roll student, challenges herself with AP and honors level classes, also involved in student council, the varsity field hockey, and lacrosse teams. Hannah makes an impact in her community through those avenues and has been complimented by peers and adults alike for her sincerity and maturity. Mascoma Bank is a certified B Corporation and has been mutually owned since 1899. We strive to be a force for positive change for our customers, communities, and employees. Mascoma Bank, member FDIC, and an equal housing lender.
William A. Smith Auction Gallery hosts 45 auctions a year. Our customer base is worldwide, and our reputation is for honesty and fairness.
Rolex right there, $5,000, $3,000. I got two there, thank you. 20.
Join us for one of our live auctions. Check out the auction schedule on our website. Auction day is lively and fun.
Sold $3,381. Yeah, sold $253. Sold $850 straight away.
We look forward to seeing you on auction day.
Warner's Main Street Bookends has been your community bookstore since 1998 and voted Yankee Magazine's Editor's Pick Must-See Bookstore. Bookends is a full-service store offering a huge selection of current fiction and nonfiction with children's book selection, toys, and games. Bookends has a huge card selection for all occasions, along with Main Street Marketplace and Gallery in the attached barn. 100% solar, Main Street Bookends of Warner is building your community one book at a time.
Welcome to Yankee Chronicle. I'm your host, Elizabeth Durazio, and
I'm your host, Abby Peel.
Coming to you from the town of Hopkinton.
Coming to you from the new London Barn Playhouse. Thanks for having us.
Thank you for coming on this beautiful day.
Beautiful day, perfect spring day.
We've been here as a staple in many of the communities. And
so many people that you get to meet and a wonderful community that you feel like you're always welcome in.
With this great opportunity of opening a restaurant that's really community focused.
So join us again next week
for a new edition of Yankee Chronicle.
You're watching the New Hampshire Association of Broadcasters' three-time award-winning YCN Game of the Week. Today, we're at the University of New Hampshire for the State Division III Championship football game featuring the #1 Lebanon Raiders taking on the #2 Trinity Pioneers of Manchester. The YCN Game of the Week is brought to you by Top Stitch Embroidery, the best for your team, and so much more. M.J. Harrington and Company, jewelers and designers since 1948. William A. Smith Auction Gallery. They host 45 auctions yearly. Check the schedule on their website. Lake Sunapee Region VNA and Hospice, providing independence for patients and peace of mind for families. H.R. Clough and Kearsarge Heating, your local energy specialist. Much more than a home heating provider. La Valley Building Supply, 10 retail lumber yards serving New England for over 55 years. Ramonto's Brick Oven Pizza and more. Always fresh. People, food, great times await you. Mascoma Savings Bank, with no shareholders to please, committed to remaining independent and to reinvesting profits in our community. Baba's Bar and Grill of Newberry Harbor, where Baba wants you to know we're having a lot of fun. And Echo Communications, a digitally integrated commercial printer and mailer located in New London, New Hampshire.
Welcome back. A couple minutes before halftime's second half starts as teams stretching and just getting ready to get back going. And quickly, Scott, we've got a game that can become a game if the Raiders can come out and score quickly.
I mean, Trinity's pretty much dominated the first half, but Lebanon certainly has the potential. They were the number one seed for a reason. And they get the ball first here. We could get a game real quickly if they can put something together.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting as the rain continues to fall down. We have the Division III game going on now, and then following that will be Division II, and then, of course, later in the evening, Division I on a cold and rainy Sunday here from Wildcat Stadium, and it's 21-7 now. We will come back with the second half on the YCN Game of the Week.
In beautiful Plymouth, New Hampshire, 1766 Brewing is a new local favorite, serving classic pub fare and unique full-flavored beers with nano-quality brewing, specializing in handcrafted small-batch artisan beer. That's because the brewing and second tap room is just down the road behind the Last Chair restaurant. And did we mention it's a great place to have a great time?
A casual, easygoing, fun place to stop. It doesn't matter what you're wearing. The atmosphere inside is fantastic, and I think it's for everybody.
Simple solutions in a challenging world. Let Echo Communications make your life simpler. From the beginning, creating design through the commercial print process and ending with custom mailing, all easily coordinated in one place. Echo Communications provides simple solutions in a challenging world. One place, many solutions. Learn more at echocominc.com.
Welcome back. Halftime is just about over, and we are ready for the second half of the Division III championship game between the Lebanon Raiders and the Trinity Pioneers. As you see there, the scoreboard says Trinity 21, Lebanon 7, and the Raiders will be receiving the second half kickoff and see if they can get something going. Start some momentum. As we mentioned, they did not have a lot of success on the offensive side, and maybe they can get something going. Rain, as you said, continues to come down. Looks like maybe even picking up.
Yeah, I mean, it looks really wet out there right now. It's going to be slippery. They got to really hold on to the football, particularly for Trinity. You don't want any unforced turnovers with a 2-score lead here in the second half of a championship game. So players will have to keep that in mind and play extra careful and make sure that ball is nice and secure when they're getting hit.
And the kickoff there, kind of a short kickoff, fielded at the 21, but it's bobbled. Goes right back to the ball carrier, and he is a little lucky on that one, picking it right back up and going up to the 45-yard line where the Lebanon Raiders will start.
Right on cue. You immediately got bobbling footballs bouncing around and tough to hold on to. I mean, it's just going to be a big part of this game here as we go on.
So first down and 10 from the 45-yard line, and that's where the Raiders will start their first possession of the second half. Getting that ball set right in the middle of the field, it will be. And it'll be under center. No, it looks like maybe in the shotgun. Just trying to get things all settled down, ready to go. We've got a couple receivers, one on the near side left, right up against the sidelines. And direct snap. Again, we've seen that play a couple times, Scott, where they go the direct snap, and obviously, like we talked about, hasn't had a lot of success. They try it there, trying to trick the defense. Nothing going on there.
On their successful drive, they did it 3 out of 4 times, and it started to seem like they were getting some semblance of a run game. But when you look at the stats in the first half, Rainey only had 9 for 27. So it's certainly as a whole, not worked so far for Lebanon.
And that one goes for minus a yard, so that'll bring up 2nd down and 11. And the Raiders, not what they wanted out of the locker room on the first play from scrimmage. And as we talked about the rain picking up, it'll be tougher to throw the football, but if you are the Raiders and you do have to try that, we wonder if they'll do that. Again, the direct snap. This one going to be a little bit nicer of a gain, kind of fighting through some tackles, and a 15-yard gain up to the 45 or the 40-yard line.
Yeah, that was an interesting design there. It looked like almost I think it was John Williman, the quarterback, was playing as a lead blocker there and actually threw a great block and opened things up. Let's see.
So
I was we're hoping for a replay, but technical difficulties.
So, and it was almost stopped in the backfield, and then he kind of shook a couple tacklers off, and he gained a nice 15-yard gain.
I mean, a big part of him shaking a couple tackles off was that
the
beautiful block by their quarterback, John Williman. I mean, that's not something you see a lot, and we're seeing it here again.
They're going to do it again, and maybe they found a wrinkle. That one only goes for about a yard, and, maybe they have found some sort of defensive liability that they can attack, as they've run that, every play now in the second half?
Basically, and if you think about it, if you have your quarterback, at that point it's a direct snap, and you're using your quarterback as an extra lineman, so it kind of evens things up on the front there. Normally, the quarterback's not in the play whatsoever.
Right, you're playing 11 on 10.
It's 11 on 10, but they're basically using an extra offensive player by doing that in the run game. So, it's an interesting strategy here for Lebanon. You're putting your quarterback at risk, but
right.
They're not a throwing team, clearly. Neither are, and it's not going to be, and it's a championship, so pull out all stops at this point.
And that one goes for a handful of yards. Williman falls forward across the 35-yard line and putting a nice drive together here. That'll bring up 3rd down and about 4.
Definitely 2-down territory here for Lebanon.
And it looks like coming up a little gingerly, Jonathan Williman, the quarterback.
Well,
and
that's
remains
what
to be seen if he's going to be coming off or if he's just shaken up.
We'll see what happened here.
I mean, he looks to be okay. He's walking back to the sideline.
Certainly took a big hit, though. And again, not only did he run the ball there and take a big hit, but he was blocking on the previous 2 plays. So, I mean, you're putting your quarterback at risk, and he is coming off a little gingerly here, and I don't think he's going to be on the field here for this next play.
Yeah,
maybe longer. Who knows?
I'm not sure if it was. I mean, he looks like he was limping a little bit, also a slow walk, so it might be a head injury. We'll see what happens, and we'll let you know if we hear anything as he's taking his helmet off and taking a knee on the sideline. We're back on 3rd down and 4, and as we have seen so far this second half, that one is the direct snap to Rainey, and he basically played quarterback that time, and he was able to get the first down.
It worked. I mean, again,
He's been taking
if you're
it.
having him line up at quarterback and just doing a draw, you're still evening things up, and it's 11 on 11 rather than 11 on 10, just like having the quarterback play fullback. And, certainly this is working for Lebanon. Their run game is moving the ball much better. They have no passing game, so at this point, don't worry about doing play actions and fancy stuff like that. The Trinity defense is ready for all that.
So Rainey's going to line up as quarterback, and there is going to be a stoppage on the field, and looks like there's a timeout on the field with 8:58 to play. We'll take a break. You're watching the YCN Game of the Week.
No matter what season it is, you can always find the best in American and Italian cuisine at Bubba's Bar and Grill in Newbury, New Hampshire. Stop in to enjoy our fresh salads, hearty sandwiches, brick oven pizzas, the award-winning seafood chowder, and a new seasonal menu just right for the cooler months. Dine in or take out. You can check out our full lunch and dinner menus along with daily specials on our website each day as well. Bubba's Bar and Grill, just 2 miles from Mount Sunapee in the beautiful harbor of Newbury, New Hampshire.
Welcome back as we're out of the timeout, and breaking free, shedding a couple would-be tacklers and busting more, and all the way inside the 10-yard line, the big gain by Wade Rainey and a first down, Raiders.
I mean, this is exactly what Lebanon needed. Rainey's coming out, running the ball like a beast, breaking tackles out there like a power running back. I mean, they needed to put points up on this drive, and now they're in prime position to do so. I mean, you can see one tackle broken by Rainey.
Then he basically is able to get 10 yards before another guy.
Another tackle broken. That's 3 tackles broken. Then he just gets wrestled to the ground finally.
And here he goes up the middle. This one right to the goal line. He'll be down before he gets in, but they're knocking on the door. It'll be second down and goal from the 1-yard line. And if you are the Raiders, touchdown here, as we talked about, coming out quickly and scoring, that's what you needed.
It's huge. If you're this Lebanon team, you're certainly worried about the loss of John Williman. I mean, we've seen other quarterbacks warming up on the sideline, but this offense is clicking right now, and there we see the touchdown by Rainey.
And that was Williman under center, so he got back in there, took the handoff, and gave it to Rainey. As you see, number 5 right there on your screen, he was the one who handed it off, so hopefully he's okay. Obviously he's okay if they're letting him back in. And touchdown Raiders, as we see it right here. Just a quick little handoff. You've got 2 fullbacks, Mellish with a nice block there, and a touchdown Raiders.
Extra point will put it to 7 here, and you know, this is great. 1-score game in the championship here for the Division III playoffs.
And that ball is up, and it is good. So the Raiders score out of the break, and they trail 21-14 here in the third quarter. 8:03 to play. You're watching the YCN Game of the Week.
William A. Smith Auction Gallery hosts 45 auctions a year. Our customer base is worldwide, and our reputation is for honesty and fairness.
Right there, $5,000, $3,000. I got 2 there, thank you. 20.
Join us for one of our live auctions. Check out the auction schedule on our website. Auction day is lively and fun.
Sold $3,381. Yeah, sold $253. Sold $850 straight away.
We look forward to seeing you on auction day.
At H.R. Clough and Kearsarge Heating, we sell, install, tune, and repair heating and cooling systems and deliver your fuel oil and propane. But we're much more. H.R. Clough installs water conditioning systems to purify your water and add life to your hot water heating system. Now is the perfect time for one of our expert staff to evaluate your needs. For a free estimate, call H.R. Clough today. Over 4 generations of local ownership and dependable service.
Welcome back. Kickoff here is returned by Taylor from the 20-yard line, and then he's spun down at the 32-yard line, and that is where the Pioneers will take over after the big touchdown drive from the Raiders. Just as we talked about, Scott, come out of that locker room if you want to get back in this game, and that's exactly what they did. Really nice job, capped off by the 1-yard touchdown from Wade Rainey.
And it was just power football. I mean, that's what we expected from Lebanon coming into today. I mean, they just ran the football right down Trinity's throat and put it in the end zone for 7. You know, this is the exact type of thing they needed coming out of halftime, and, you know, this is going to really make this game interesting. And speaking of interesting...
Wow, Tebow shedding one tackler, cutting to the outside, and he's got one man to beat, and he beats him down the sideline. Touchdown, Pioneers.
These are the reasons he rushed for 2,000-plus yards this year. That's just pure speed right there by Tebow.
So before the Lebanon defense really got settled in after they scored to go only down 7 points, they give up a score, and they're now down 13 with the extra point coming. A 68-yard run here, just stiff-arming one would-be tackler, beating the other 2 to the edge, and then as he maybe has a kind of juke number 5, that's Williman, and then go to the end zone. Touchdown.
And right as that play was beginning, you're asking me about the Lebanon drive, right? How good it was and how important it was for them to come down and put some points on the board. And then one play later, that is completely erased here. Trinity has completely neutralized that nice drive by Lebanon.
So that one extra point is good. It's 28-14. Lebanon Raiders looking to come back in the Division III championship game. You're watching YCN.
There once was a haunted house. People said they had heard voices, but no one dared to go inside.
There's a place for wood in your backyard. We recommend the fire pit. For looks and performance that outlast a wooden deck, make sure your next deck is built with Trex, the world's #1 premium decking brand.
Trex products are available at LaValley Middleton Building Supply. Visit us at lavalleys.com.
Welcome back. YCN Game of the Week, Division III Football Championship here from Wildcat Stadium. The Trinity Pioneers answering the long touchdown drive with a short touchdown drive. The Raiders had the ball 8 plays, 55 yards, and then Pioneers go for a 1-play, 68-yard run and the touchdown.
I mean, we've been warned about John Tebow. I mean, he is a beast out there. Obviously, as I mentioned, 2,000-plus yards in the regular season, and, you know, he just shows he is the fastest guy out there in the field, and Lebanon couldn't catch up, and once he got that corner, it was over for Lebanon.
And the kickoff return brought back to the 45-yard line, so now the Raiders with some good field position to start this drive, much like they started last drive. They actually started at the 45-yard line as well, so see if they can replicate their last drive, and maybe we'll start getting some scores and going back and forth here.
I mean, we are actually getting a decent amount of scoring at this point. We got, 6 touchdowns, which is a bit of a surprise considering it's such a wet, rainy, tough field condition type day. And, there's Rainey with another good gain here. So
yeah, nice 11-yard pickup, a first down across the 45 of the Pioneers, and really these offenses went into the locker room, clearly worked on some stuff, got some schemes, got things going, and they've both started this second half with touchdowns, and Raiders looking to add to theirs right here.
Well, I mean, as the time winds down here and this game gets further into it, you're going to see more desperation, too, from the team with less points, which is currently Lebanon right now. So, I don't think we're at that point of desperation yet, not quite halfway through the third quarter, but that urgency is going to have to pick up at some point.
And Philip Mellish on the carry there. He picks up 7 yards, so a good first down run. That'll bring up 2nd down and 3. Lebanon not really in a hurry-up offense. They're keeping the ball on the ground, and they're just kind of taking their time as the handoff again to Rainey. He bounces outside, and another first down. So when you're able to do what you're doing now on the ground, you don't need to really worry about passing it, and they clearly haven't thrown one this second half.
This is the same as the last drive so far. I mean, they're just running up the middle, getting big chunk plays, 7-8 yards at a time, and Trinity can't stop them right now. So if you're Lebanon, keep handing the ball to Rainey and keep making it happen here.
And as we see, Williman under center, and he will hand the ball off to the up man, and then cutting to the outside and to the corner. It's going to be a race. It looks like that's Mellish, who is tackled by Alessandro and Taylor at the 11-yard line, but a big first down for the Raiders.
I mean, this is just beautiful design. I mean, Trinity is obviously focusing on Rainey at this point. They do a nice little head fake and then hand it to the up back, and huge gain. Easy yardage. There was nobody up until the 10-yard line.
And I think if you came down to watch this game or you're watching on TV, this is the championship game you signed up for, because we thought this is what it would be. And, of course, it took a little bit of a slow start to get to this point. But here we are at this point now, and it's 28-14. So Trinity with the lead, but the Raiders are driving. 5:55 to play in the third quarter. You're watching the YCN Game of the Week.
I had broken my humerus. I went home in the care of the VNA, and I met a group of women that I'll never forget. All of them were, in a way, just the most therapeutic and totally understanding people I think I've ever met.
Lake Sunapee Region VNA and Hospice is your locally managed nonprofit home health care provider. It's your choice. Ask for us by name when home is where you want to be.
Welcome back. YCN Game of the Week. Jeremy Stout, Scott Quimby. 5:55 to play in the third quarter, and the Raiders looking to go in the end zone for the second time in just this third quarter alone and cut this game back to a one-score game. As we see the handoff there to Rainey, and he is wrapped up but is able to get away from 3 tacklers before he's dragged down and the penalty flag on the field.
Yeah, loss of yardage there. Trinity looked like they were
knew what was coming.
loading up against the run there. But, I mean, if you look at the stats in the first half, Lebanon did not run the ball well. Their yards per carry was very low. And so far in this third quarter, I mean, they are gouging this defensive front for Trinity, getting a good 6-7 yards at a time.
So no penalty flag, maybe a towel on the field, on this wet field. Yeah, they ran for 57 yards in the first half, did the Raiders. And at this point, looks like they have 156. They've already got 99 yards rushing in this third quarter. Little movement up front. Not sure if the defenders were drawn off, but it looks like they're going to say offsides. So that'll go against the Trinity Pioneers, and it'll be 2nd down and 5. Getting a little bit closer.
Not exactly a goal-to-go situation here. They can pick up a first down, even though it'd be very difficult. I think it goes without saying that this is 4-down territory regardless. Being down 2 touchdowns, a field goal still keeps it a 2-score game. Lebanon has to go for it, and they have to get a touchdown here.
Yeah, no question about that. I mean, like you said, they can get the first down if they get it to the 1-yard line, but you're right. Not likely to happen as this running game has really been strong in the second half, and they're looking to punch it in the end zone and cut it to 1 score.
And you can see Trinity's defense here, even though there's a timeout called, they are stacking the box.
So timeout on the field. We'll take a break as well. 28-14, 4:49 to play in the third quarter. You're watching the YCN Game of the Week.
Hi, this is Tom Hoyt, the social media coordinator for Mascoma Bank, and it's time to introduce our Student of the Month. Lebanon High School selecting Aaron Caruso, a senior. Aaron has had to overcome family challenges and is supporting himself by working a full-time job and is enrolled in a full schedule of classes, including 2 sciences. He comes to school every day with a positive attitude. He calls out his peers when they're negative. Most people not realizing the hardship because of all of his optimism. He's personable, pleasant, engaging both with his peers and his staff, and he's embraced the Lebanon High School community. As one teacher said, "I'm positive that the support he gets here has helped him persevere, and they're amazed by his strength every day." Mascoma Bank is a certified B Corporation and has been mutually owned since 1899. We strive to be a force for positive change for our customers, communities, and employees. Mascoma Bank, member FDIC, and an equal housing lender.
Welcome back. First down, or excuse me, that was 2nd down and goal. The running back stopped as trying to get you a replay. We missed that one, but here we go. We'll check it out again.
Yeah.
Nice defense by Trinity.
Yeah, it looked like he had some good momentum there, but a beautiful tackle by, who was that? 24, Tebow.
Yeah.
Wrapping him up and took him down. It looked like Rennie had the momentum to maybe fight his way into the end zone, but outstanding job by Tebow.
And on 3rd and 1, the touchdown by Mellish as he scoots through the line, and the Raiders put another one on the board, 28-20.
Not who you're expecting to give the ball to there if you're Trinity. You're looking at Rainey again, of course, and they switch it up and go to Mellish, and he finds his way. He finds a little hole, and big touchdown.
Yeah, just kind of scoots off the left side, and Tebow again almost with the tackle, but too much there for Mellish.
Mellish had to work his way through some bodies there, but kept a low center of gravity and fought his way through.
So the extra point pending here. Kick is up, and the kick is good. So with 4:12 to play in the third quarter, we'll take a break. Trinity leading Lebanon 28-21 on the YCN Game of the Week.
The New Hampshire Heritage Collection by M.J. Harrington Jewelers is imagined and designed by our craftsmen, inspired by the natural beauty and special places that make New Hampshire extraordinary. The Old Man of the Mountain, Common Loon, Covered Bridge, Sap Bucket, and New Hampshire Lakes Collection are tributes to the story of the Granite State, made in America, handcrafted, uniquely yours, from M.J. Harrington Jewelers.
Warner's Main Street Bookends has been your community bookstore since 1998 and voted Yankee Magazine's Editor's Pick Must-See Bookstore. Bookends is a full-service store offering a huge selection of current fiction and nonfiction with children's book selection, toys, and games. Bookends has a huge card selection for all occasions, along with Main Street Marketplace and Gallery in the attached barn. 100% solar, Main Street Bookends of Warner is building your community one book at a time.
Welcome back. YCN Game of the Week. Jeremy Stout, Scott Quimby. Raiders have just scored to make it a one-score game, and now they'll kick it off. Pioneers take the kickoff from the 15-yard line and then return to about the 30-yard line. A good defensive stop or a special team stop from the Raiders. And the Pioneers now see if they can answer and go back up 14. Both teams have had the ball, and they've both scored on their only possessions. This is Trinity's second of the second half.
Well, this too. I mean, there's 4 minutes left in the third quarter. Trinity scored on their drive, but they've played one offensive play here. So this offense might be getting a little cold here. Coming out of halftime, that's a lot of time with just one offensive play.
So we'll see if Trinity can answer as the handoff up the middle to Tebow. And that one is stopped, maybe 3-yard gain, and that was James Tebow, who in the first half really kind of carried this squad as he was the leading rusher for the Trinity team, or excuse me, the leading running back. Alessandro had 56 yards rushing, but the leading running back was Tebow.
It's fair to say Tebow's their leading running back or rusher now at this point.
Right, after the big gain. Yep, after the 68-yard touchdown, and QB keeps this one. That's Alessandro, and gang tackled by the Raiders, and they're looking to get some momentum. It's 3rd down and 7.
I don't think they're looking to get some momentum. I think they have some momentum, and you know, like I said, this offense might be a little cold, and certainly Lebanon, this defense might be cold too, but they certainly got the blood pumping after that awesome touchdown drive by their offense, and a lot of those same players are on the field too. I mean, you share a lot of duties in high school football.
Right, yeah, a lot of them are playing two-way.
So, yeah, I mean, these guys are certainly a proud team and playing like it.
And maybe a little miscommunication by Alessandro and Tebow, but then Alessandro is flung down, but a flag comes in from the far side. Looked like Tebow thought he was going to get the handoff, and then he looked back and said, whoops, I don't have it. He's got a block, and Alessandro, I don't know if broken play, but
certainly a broken play, and they have a holding on top of it here.
And you'd imagine they decline that holding penalty as it'll bring up 4th down in about 8 or 9.
And I believe this is going to be our first punt of the day. We haven't
Yes.
seen a single punt so far.
That is correct.
But, I mean, a lot of the times the field position in this game has been around midfield to start.
Right.
So it's been a lot of 4-down territories regardless of where you have the ball.
So 4th down and 7, or 8, I'll mark it at. And as you mentioned, we'll get our first look at a punt, possibly. Looks like the Pioneers are going for it. So they're going to go for it here on 4th down and 8. And now they're going to do a quick punt. So they pitch it back to Tebow, and he punts it.
Punt by Tebow.
And he gets a nice roll all the way back to, it looks like it's going to take one more turn down to the 5-yard line. What a play by the Pioneers.
The old halfback pitch punt. You don't see that every day. And it seemed like the defense had a guy back, but he was only half back. Like, he wasn't fully committed based on the formation that they rolled out. And, you know, Tebow just pounded the ball and just blew it right over the guy who was back's head. And he had no chance of catching it. The ball gets a beautiful bounce, nice roll all the way down to the 5-yard line. And Lebanon has been rolling here, but they got 95 yards to go this time, so we'll see how that works out with 2:12 left in the third.
Yeah, both their last touchdown drives, both in the third quarter, 55 yards. This, as you mentioned, 95 yards if they're going to score a touchdown. They start it from the 5 and immediately pitching it off, and maybe a yard gain to the outside is Rainey. As we approach 2 minutes to play here in the third quarter. Watch our Yankee Chronicle every week on this station at 8 p.m. on Saturdays, followed by Wicked Yankee. If you miss any of our local programs on our 3 YCN network stations, you can always watch them anytime on our website at ycnnow.com. So they'll bring up 2nd down and 9 for the Raiders. They've had some good success this second half. 2 possessions, 2 touchdowns. See if they can make it 3 for 3. And again, the direct snap to Rainey, and he's able to kind of jump over a few linemen, gains a few yards. I'll bring up 3rd down.
Yeah, I mean, they've been great on the ground. We got 3rd and long here. I'd be curious to see if they might try something through the air. I mean, they did take 7 pass attempts. They weren't very successful, we mentioned during the breaks. 2 for 7, 2 interceptions. They did have the 1 touchdown, but they're showing the willingness to at least take attempts, and I think this would be a good time to take a conservative attempt.
Yeah, maybe
conservative.
maybe some sort of rollout, and you kind of get the bootleg and maybe a screen pass or something in the flat.
Yeah, we can't have,
Thrown into triple coverage.
Triple coverage right here. A turnover would be very detrimental. So they're in a power run formation, though, so we'll see.
And they are going to hand it off, and Rainey immediately hit after crossing the line of scrimmage. He really gets nowhere, and this drive will most likely end in a punt, as we've got 4th down and a yard to go.
And that's what a beautiful punt for Trinity does for you.
Right.
I mean, it kind of traps you. You got to run the ball in the first couple downs. Like I was saying, I would have liked to have seen a pass there, but a conservative one. But you have to be conservative when you're down at this end of the field.
So it looks like Lebanon is going to let the clock run down in the 3rd quarter, and they'll come back to start the 4th quarter and try for the punt. They trail 28-21, 1 quarter to play here on the YCN Game of the Week.
Warner's Main Street Bookends has been your community bookstore since 1998 and voted Yankee Magazine's Editor's Pick Must-See Bookstore. Bookends is a full-service store offering a huge selection of current fiction and nonfiction with children's book selection, toys, and games. Bookends has a huge card selection for all occasions, along with Main Street Marketplace and Gallery in the attached barn. 100% solar, Main Street Bookends of Warner is building your community one book at a time.
Why is it always time for pizza in New England? Because Ramonto's brick oven pizzas are popping up everywhere. With dough made fresh daily and baked in brick ovens, plus pasta, sandwiches, and artisan salads always from fresh ingredients, you're never far from good times and great food at Ramonto's. Ramonto's brick oven pizzas are the locally owned restaurants that make freshness taste so good. Want a piece of the pie? Visit ramontos.com for franchise opportunities.
Welcome back. 4th quarter set to begin, and the Raiders will start it with a punt from deep in their own end. Gets it away from about the 5-yard line, and then it's bobbled at the 50, picked up by Taylor, and then he is immediately brought down. That's going to be at the 47-yard line of the Pioneers, and not really what you wanted if you are Trinity, but luckily you didn't turn the ball over.
Well, the thing that threw Taylor off, that was a very hard line drive punt. Not exactly what you're typically looking for as a punter. You want hang time to get your defenders down there, but it threw him off guard, and it was actually deep, and Taylor couldn't handle it. He had to kind of catch it on his back foot there, and when he actually bobbled the ball, it actually turned out to be hang time in a sense, right? When it's laying on the ground, it might not be in the air, but it's time for the defenders to get down there, and Taylor had no shot at a good return.
So they'll bring up 1st down and 10 from the 47-yard line. Trinity looking to start this 4th quarter with a touchdown and go back up 2 scores after Lebanon had to punt. And the ball is loose. Ball's down. Lebanon says they've got it, but I'm not really sure if they do, and they will not have the fumbled snap. Once again, we've seen that now. That's the 2nd time today.
Yeah,
Trinity fumbled the snap.
And we said, they can't make mistakes. They had a 2-score lead here coming into the second half. The one thing they can't do is turn the ball over. They have to play clean. It's wet, crappy conditions, but they can't make mistakes like that. They're fortunate to have the ball still.
So they'll bring up 2nd down and 10. Pioneers with the ball at their own 47-yard line in the shotgun, and here comes Tebow in motion, and this time they'll fake the handoff as Alessandro, but he is immediately hit and tackled back in the backfield at the 35-yard line.
That is a huge play by Lebanon, a big loss. They've done this fake several times.
And they've only run it once, and they've faked it half a dozen times.
Yeah, exactly. And that's 33 of C.J. Childs making the play. A huge play, great anticipation on it. And that is a big loss here. Trinity has to be very careful on this play. You know, it's third and very long. If they do intend to get the first down, they're going to have to pass maybe around 12 yards. If they run the ball here, they're conceding.
3rd and 22 in the shotgun, and they will roll out to pass. Alessandro immediately hurried. He throws it up, and it is complete back to the original line of scrimmage, but then brought down maybe back to about the 48-yard line. So maybe we'll bring up, looks like 4th and 9.
Yeah, a bit of a prayer on that pass, it looked like. He threw into traffic. The receiver came back and made the play, which is exactly what you need to do as a receiver. You need to attack the football. But that is exactly what Trinity needed as far as yardage goes. And you see the replay. I mean, there's a lot of bodies there, even other Trinity guys diving for it. It's just a great play by the receiver, kind of a 500 ball, as they call them.
And 4th and 9. Looks like they'll be going for it, and it's going to be fumbled, and then the pitch is fumbled, and then Tebow does get the punt away, but it goes out of bounds, and this punt not quite as spectacular as the last one.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing with doing these punts. There's a lot of trickery. There's a lot of things happening there, and it's not easy. I mean, you got to have space to get the punt off. If the pit, you got to have a good snap, you got to have a good pitch. Then the running back has to roll out and have room to punt it. I mean, there's a lot of things that need to go into play there, and it worked out fantastically last time. An absolute disaster this time.
Yeah, that's going to go down as a 4-yard punt officially. Now, I can't remember what we had in Hartford, but that might be the shortest one. I can't remember if it's in the running for the shortest punt of the year.
It's in the running, we'll put it that way. But it might not win. I don't know. We'll have to see.
So a penalty on the field, that's going to be against the Raiders. So after they get the ball at the 48-yard line, they're going to immediately go back 5 yards on the false start. And once again, they've got the ball down only one score, 9:34 to play. They're looking to get the touchdown. They've had 2 touchdowns this half, and then obviously last drive punting it away. And they kind of flipped the field that time. We talked about the great punt flipping it for one team, and now it's flipped back.
The punt puts them at the 5-yard line. They kick it. Trinity gets the ball around midfield. You're thinking, okay, if this is a field possession game, Trinity's winning it right now, and they're up. But then they just punt it away and get no yards. So, yeah, Lebanon's definitely flipped the script, and there's still a lot of time left in this game, 9.5 minutes.
And that one is run for maybe a yard or 2. Yeah, it'll be about 2 yards because they'll get 2 yards back from the penalty, and it'll be 2nd down and 13.
Now, if you're Lebanon, I mean, you're in a situation where it's a one-score game. Now you don't have to panic so much. Like, you get the ball around midfield, even if you don't get a first down here, you can punt it and put Trinity down at the 5-10-yard line. Your defense is playing great all of a sudden, so, it really makes a lot of options available.
So rolling out to the right is the quarterback, and Williman is able to fall forward after getting hit, and he's going to put together a handful of yards. It'll still bring up 4th down, but at least you got 4th and about 8 now, so you'd imagine, or maybe 4th and 6.
No, it's only 3rd down, isn't it?
3rd down, excuse me.
3rd down.
So 3rd down and 6.
It could be if they, especially if they get positive yards here. It could very well be 2-down territory. Of course, you do run the risk of just returning that field position right back to Trinity if you go for it.
Right, and like you said, the defense has been playing very well this half, and you wonder if you don't get it here, if you can punt it and pin them deep. You still got all your timeout, or you got 2 timeouts. You've got 8 minutes to go. So we'll see what happens here as that handoff to Mellish. He's hit immediately in the backfield. He's able to fall forward for a couple yards, but well short. And that one is now going to be 4th down and 4.
So my personal opinion, I think they're probably going to go for it, but I would just punt it here. I like the way their defense is playing. Pin Trinity back as far as you can, and keep that field position on your side. But, Lebanon's down a score. They're playing to win. It's the championship, so I think they're going to be aggressive here and just say, the heck with it. We're going for it. We're putting it on the line right now.
And it looks like they will be going for it. They've got a couple guys in the backfield, and the rolling out to the right side, stiff-arming one defender and then throwing to an open receiver, complete, and a 1st down, Raiders.
That's just a gutsy play call. Gutsy plays by the players. QB getting hit when he's throwing, the receiver getting hit when he's catching it. But they pulled it off. credit to Lebanon. It was gutsy, like I said, but well done.
And that was Cole Ames on the catch, as we see right there. Williman stiff-arming one defender, and then just as he gets hit.
He almost ran into the defender directly. He knew he was going to take the hit, Wiseman did, and still delivered the pass on target.
And they go back to Rainey. He's bottled up at the line of scrimmage. Gains a yard or two. That'll bring up second down. Clock continues to tick inside 7 minutes. And by converting there and getting the first down, if you don't score quickly, you've also, you don't want to give the ball back and let Trinity be able to run the clock out. Because obviously this now is going to take a couple minutes, because Lebanon, let's be honest, they've been able to move the ball the second half, but they really haven't broken any huge plays.
Well,
the first two drives were nice long drives.
Other than that first down pass there hasn't been a single pass attempt in the second half. I got the stats here. If you look at the passing stats, they're exactly the same as to what they were at halftime. There wasn't a pass in the third quarter, so all these run plays do wind the clock down and make the game move fast.
So it'll bring up third down and about 5. Ball spotted at the 31-yard line as we approach 6 minutes to play. 3rd and 5 here for the Raiders. Once again, under center is Williman. He's got Mellish and Rainey in the back, and the pitch to Rainey. He's got the hole and cuts to the outside, and another first down Raiders.
Yeah, Rainey's really starting to add up some statistics here. He's having a heck of a game. And, yeah, I mean, the blocking there was just flawless. Rainey had a big hole for himself on the pitch to the outside, and a big first down here for the Raiders once again.
And clock continuing to move. First down at the 22-yard line. Raiders looking to go in for their third touchdown of the second half. This one's to Mellish as the up man, and he is able to fall forward after getting initially hit at the 20. He'll be stopped, and they'll spot him at the 20. Forward progress was stopped.
Yeah, not a big gain there. Just more positive yardage, though, which is always good. Lebanon's not even trying to fool Trinity at this point. If you look at their formations when they go up to the line of scrimmage, they have no receivers out. They're purely in power formation every time at this point, just saying, we're going to try to outpower you. We either will or we won't, and that's what it's going to be. So we got another power run formation here. Let's see what happens.
And again, the pitch off to the right side, and Rainey able to fall forward. Again, he's at the 15, 16-yard line. See where they spot it.
So, again, we're obviously in 2-down territory. Now we got 3rd and short. So, certainly a manageable set of downs here, if you will. And Lebanon is knocking on the door and looking to tie this thing up.
And they are going to need to score here, because obviously if you give the ball back to Trinity on a turnover on downs, you might not see the ball again.
That is correct.
So 3rd and 3. Power formation. Mellish and tight end in the backfield. There's some movement on that one. That was Ames in the backfield. I'm not sure who the penalty was on. It's a false start, and it'll knock Lebanon back 5 yards.
Yeah, that is not what they were looking for. The false start on the tight end. Calvin Bates, looks like, jumped. But, like I was just saying, it was 3rd manageable. You're definitely in 2-down territory. You could probably pound the ball on the ground there, as successful as they've been, and easily get the first down. But now with it being 3rd and 9, you're running a bit of a risk here. If you don't get a good gain here on first down, you're forced to pass the ball, and that's certainly had mixed results.
So 3rd and 9, inside 4 minutes to play. The fake pitch. And Williman's going to throw it. He's got Rainey, but just overthrown out of the reach. Rainey can't get to it, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Yeah, Rainey was upset. I mean, he was high-stepping a little bit there. He knew he had it. If he caught that, he probably was in the end zone, just out of his reach.
So take a look at it here, and we will get a 4th down. So, Scott, here we go. This, like I said, 3:46. There's still some time. There's still some timeouts, but this could be for the game here. Lebanon might not see the football if they don't pick one up here.
Yeah, I mean, this is obviously a huge part of the game. At least they got the ball far enough down where the field position is not going to kill them, so if they can force Trinity to 3-and-out, they'd still be in it. But let's just get a first down here if you're Lebanon, right?
And Williman flag on the field. Williman drops back. He's got a man open, and it is complete, falling out of bounds. They're going to say it's a completion. There's a flag back here at the 28-yard line. It's going to be holding against the Raiders.
All sorts of crazy stuff happening on that play. It's tough holding call, but amazing catch at the same time. Unfortunately, it's not going to stand. That was one of the better plays we've seen today.
Yeah, and good completion. Even though the play there was a holding penalty, if you don't make that completion, then you turn it over on downs because they decline the penalty. So that mattered that he caught it, because then you were able to, if you're the Raiders.
They have a decision here to go for it or punt.
Right. And
Now, in my opinion, again, like earlier, they're kind of near midfield here. I know there's 3:38 left, but you got timeouts. I'm trying to coffin corner it if I can and get them down inside the 10, and then just trying to stop them with my defense, which has been performing well. Otherwise, you're kind of putting it up to a Hail Mary situation here at this point with 4th and 25.
So 4th and 36 to go. We'll take a break on the field. 3:38 to play. Lebanon Raiders looking to convert here, down 28-21. You're watching the YCN Game of the Week.
No matter what season it is, you can always find the best in American and Italian cuisine at Bubba's Bar and Grill in Newbury, New Hampshire. Stop in to enjoy our fresh salads, hearty sandwiches, brick oven pizzas, the award-winning seafood chowder, and a new seasonal menu just right for the cooler months. Dine in or take out. You can check out our full lunch and dinner menus along with daily specials on our website each day as well. Bubba's Bar and Grill, just 2 miles from Mount Sunapee in the beautiful harbor of Newbury, New Hampshire.
Welcome back, YCN Game of the Week. Jeremy Stout, Scott Quimby. Final 3:38 here in regulation. 4th down and 26 for the Raiders. And out of this timeout, it was Trinity who called the timeout. They're out of timeouts, and the Raiders need to pick up the first down here.
Yeah, incredibly interesting decision, as we were discussing. I personally think I would punt it, but it looks like Lebanon's is going to go for it. And it's going to have to be a Hail Mary situation, and Trinity, you're going to see their defenders fall back and play some defense here in a 500 drill.
And only 4 rushing defenders, and one of them, that's Tebow, who gets to the quarterback, and Lebanon turns it over on downs.
Yeah, we know Tebow's speed. We've seen it on the ground, and, he was kind of playing an end position there. He kind of plays as a linebacker, and just pure speed.
Yeah, he's coming in on the blitz. There was only 3 down linemen rushing, and he was kind of coming from the off the line of scrimmage position, and then he just completely took care of business and getting the sack, and that's a turnover on downs. But you got 3:33 to play. You've got a couple timeouts, so basically got to stop them here if you're the Raiders.
The thing is, by going for that, especially losing yardage here, even if Trinity goes 3 and out, they punt the ball away, they can pin you back down to the 10-yard line. I mean, we've seen some good punts by them. And then Lebanon really has their work cut out for them. A long ways to go with almost no time at that point. So, again, I feel like it was a mistake not punting there.
So first down, and he'll just keep a QB keeper there by Alessandro. Peter Alessandro will gain 3 yards, and the clock will continue to move. Lebanon won't take a timeout yet. They'll probably wait if they can get a stop here, take one of their 2 timeouts on 3rd down. So it'll be 2nd down and 7. Today's game is being brought to you in part by Mascoma Savings Bank, mutually owned with no shareholders to please. If you want your local game, event, parade, or concert televised into YCN's broadcast area, contact us at info@ycnnow.com. 2nd down and 7, to run forward, gaining a handful of yards. That'll bring up 3rd down. And still no signal for a timeout from Lebanon.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the right thing to do here. And there's no 2-minute warning. You save your timeouts as long as you possibly can here. If Trinity doesn't get this, I would assume they're going to punt. So if they stop them here, I would maybe call a timeout at that point. But they would still have 1 in their back pocket for their offense, which would be ideal.
So we'll see what they come up with here for an offensive play on 3rd and 4, 2:15 to play. I would imagine they'll keep it on the ground. Alessandro just keeps it himself, and he falls forward, gains a couple of yards.
So great,
and now they'll call the timeout.
Yeah, great job for Lebanon. If you're, I was surprised they didn't punt last time. If you're Trinity, there's no reason not to punt here. If you go for it and don't get it, you're giving
half the field.
Half the field, exactly. So you have to punt the ball here, even though it's 4th and short.
For over 11 years, Bubba's Bar and Grill has been providing hungry patrons with high-quality food and friendly service with a mission of delivering a remarkable experience to every visitor. And Bubba likes to remind you, we're having a lot of fun here. And don't forget to stay tuned at the end of our telecast for the HR Clough Kearsarge Heating Turning Up the Heat Player of the Game. We will choose the team member that had the greatest impact on today's game. So 4th down and short. I'll say it's 4th and along 2. Got to imagine, as you mentioned, Trinity will be punting it here and trying to pin even a mediocre punt of 25 yards, pins them down, and really makes Lebanon work for it.
Well, one thing to think here, their last 2 punts were by their halfback on weird pitch plays. One was awesome and one was terrible. So, this could be interesting, Jeremy.
Alessandro will pitch it back to Tebow, and he is going to run it. He's not going to punt it, and he is going to be held up at the 44-yard line. It might be enough for a first down.
That is a risky play. That is right at the sticks. It looked like he kind of pulled down like he was going to punt and kind of faked it and just committed and went for it. I don't know if it was a designed punt or if it was a designed fake punt.
I think it's, honestly, now that I've seen that play 3 times, I think it's almost an option. He kind of starts, and if there's no chance he's going to get it, he's in the motion of moving, he punts it, and if he thinks he can get it, he might go. So I don't know how much liberty he has to make a decision, but either way, it's going to be first down, Lebanon Raiders. So they'll take over on the turnover on downs at the 44-yard line. Today's game is being brought to you in part by Ramonto's Brick Oven Pizza. You're never too far from great food and good times at Ramonto's, the locally owned restaurants that make freshness taste so good. So Lebanon's got it, 1:55. They've got a timeout left in their pocket.
Well, that's the thing.
They've got 56 yards to go.
Plenty of time. That's why I don't understand. I mean, if they put it in the hands of their best weapon, right? He's clearly their punter as well. They probably gave him the decision. Either punt it if you have a chance or go for it. Problem is, when you get an awesome running back like that and you put the ball in his hands, he's going to want to run the ball, and I just don't think that's the right play there.
So now we'll see some passing as Lebanon needs to get some chunk yardage, and it looks like it's going to be hit out of bounds. Are they going to call a penalty? They are not. He was just staying inside the white marker before he was hit. So
yeah, I think that's a good non-call. It was certainly, close, but I think it was still in bounds during the point of contact, and as long as you're on the field of play, you need to be able to be hit.
So that's a 6-yard gain. That'll bring up second down, and they'll give him a 7-yard gain, 2nd down and 3. And back out on the field. The clock does stop as that out of bounds does help. So 1:48 to go. Only 1 timeout left. This game is being brought to you by Top Stitch Embroidery, the best for your team and so much more. With embroidery and screen printing in-house, their team will make your team look the best that it can be. 2nd down and 3. Dropping back to pass. Plenty of time. Kind of lobs one up. A lot of white jerseys there. And that one is picked off by the Pioneers. And Trinity will take over at the 30-yard line.
Yeah, well, there's your ball game. I mean, that's the same error we saw in the first half twice. I mean, throwing off his back foot into coverage. Here you can see he rolls out and just kind of throws off his balance there. Just kind of a hope and a prayer. Which, in that situation is just not necessary. It looked like they had a good thing going. And,
right.
Yeah, it's just unforced. 3 unforced errors there.
So that'll bring up first down at the 29-yard line. And basically it's just going to be three kneel down. I mean, Lebanon does have a timeout, so they'll call a timeout. And just the extra snap. We've seen them fumble the snap twice. I mean, I know they weren't on kneel downs, but we have seen that happen. Anything can happen.
I mean, it's
so
tough
you
to
never
tell
know
how hard it's raining up here in the booth, but if you look down at the track, you can see it's pouring down there. So it's certainly something that would concern me. Lebanon, you'd think, even though it's a kneel down, would put some pressure on the line there, but they kind of just allowed them to take the kneel down.
So a timeout on the field.
Especially on the center.
Yeah, so 1:36 to play. 2nd down, and it'll be about 11 yards on the kneel down. Today's game is being brought to you in part by Echo Communications. Call them for all your printing needs. Our YCN Game of the Week goes live with basketball this winter. Our first game is at Hopkinton, hosting the Newport Girls Friday, December the 6th at 7 p.m. That's on cable and at ycnnow.com. So it'll be 2nd down and 11. No timeouts left for either team. And you got to imagine just a couple more kneel downs, and this one should just about do it, just about be over. But as you mentioned, Scott, they could have some defensive rush. They could have a problem, as you mentioned, the rain.
Yeah,
anything can happen.
Again, we've mentioned there's 2 bad snaps so far that were fumbled. I would put 2 guys in the center and just charge him here and try to make an unforced error, make something happen.
And not going to happen there, as Alessandro is able to grab that, and he gets the knee down. So that'll bring up 3rd down.
So Lebanon's going to get the ball back here. We know that for sure, especially if Trinity doesn't kneel down. I mean, I guess they could do a trick play and get a first down, so I guess we don't know it for sure. But in all likelihood, they're going to do another kneel down and punt to Lebanon. With no timeouts, they're going to have to pull some serious mastery here to get a touchdown and tie it up. Or go for 2 for the win. Who knows?
So that'll be 3rd down, and clearly taking their time inside 1 minute before they'll be snapping it again. And we've got one final snap here one final kneel down, you would imagine, from Pioneers. And that time the defensive line gets after the quarterback. So it'll be down at the 25-yard line. That'll bring up 4th down. And they will have to get one more play away here. And here's where the position where, obviously, if you're Trinity, you have to punt the ball. You can't try and run around and spend 5 seconds or 10 seconds around the field, because then if you fumble the ball, then you're in trouble.
Unless they don't like their snapper at all, I would just go to a traditional punt formation. But
they're going to have to run a play.
They're in a knee formation, though. I don't know
what the play clock is, but we're inside 10 seconds, and they might have to run one here. And they are going to run it back as we had expected.
He's just going to try to scramble.
And then hope he gets scrambled, and the clock hits triple zeros. And that was the risk, but Trinity averts the crisis as the clock hits triple zeros. And this one is over. The Pioneers defeat the Raiders 28-21. They are your New Hampshire Division III state champions. We will take one final break and come back with our HR Clough Kearsarge Heating turning up the heat player of the game. The final from Wildcat Stadium, Trinity 28, Lebanon 21.
In beautiful Plymouth, New Hampshire, 1766 Brewing is a new local favorite, serving classic pub fare and unique full-flavored beers with nano-quality brewing, specializing in handcrafted small batch artisan beer. That's because the brewing and second tap room is just down the road behind the Last Chair restaurant. And did we mention it's a great place to have a great time?
A casual, easygoing, fun place to stop. It doesn't matter what you're wearing. The atmosphere inside is fantastic, and I think it's for everybody.
At HR Clough and Kearsarge Heating, we sell, install, tune, and repair heating and cooling systems and deliver your fuel oil and propane. But we're much more. With more frequent major weather events, don't say again, I should have installed a generator. HR Clough provides the best home generator systems available from Generac. Our highly trained personnel provide you a complete turnkey installation. For a free estimate, call the HR Clough Company today. Over 4 generations of local ownership and dependable service.
Welcome back. YCN Game of the Week. It is final here from Wildcat Stadium, where the Trinity Pioneers defeat the Lebanon Raiders 28-23 to capture the Division III crown. And Scott, let's get to our HR Clough Kearsarge Heating turning up the heat player of the game.
Yeah, I mean, to me, if Trinity won, it was going to be one guy. It was going to be John Tebow. He had a huge game today. We saw offense, defense, and special teams, Jeremy, which is pretty unique. Three down player. Tebow had 13 carries for 120 yards, 2 touchdowns. He added a catch for 13 yards. We saw a huge sack on defense, which ended a Lebanon drive. And then that wild punt, which bounced and pinned Lebanon all the way down inside the 5-yard line, which was a key play in this fourth quarter, which really helped Trinity hold on to
that kind of stopped the momentum that the Lebanon Raiders had after scoring the first 2 possessions of the second half. Then they started at the 5-yard line thanks to that punt, and they don't get anything there. And then obviously, as we mentioned, Tebow with the big day. He also had the big 68-yard touchdown run, which basically was the game winner for the Trinity Pioneers. So congratulations to Trinity Pioneers defeating the Lebanon Raiders in the Division III state championship game. The final score here for the final time, Trinity 28, Lebanon 21. For Scott Quimby, I'm Jeremy Stout. Thanks for watching the YCN Game of the Week.
You're watching the New Hampshire Association of Broadcasters' 3-time award-winning YCN Game of the Week. Today, we're at the University of New Hampshire for the State Division III Championship football game featuring the #1 Lebanon Raiders taking on the #2 Trinity Pioneers of Manchester. The YCN Game of the Week is brought to you by Top Stitch Embroidery, the best for your team, and so much more. MJ Harrington and Company, jewelers and designers since 1948. William A. Smith Auction Gallery. They host 45 auctions yearly. Check the schedule on their website. Lake Sunapee Region VNA and Hospice, providing independence for patients and peace of mind for families. H.R. Clough and Kearsarge Heating, your local energy specialist. Much more than a home heating provider. La Valley Building Supply, 10 retail lumber yards serving New England for over 55 years. Ramonto's Brick Oven Pizza and more, always fresh. People, food, great times await you. Mascoma Savings Bank, with no shareholders to please, committed to remaining independent and to reinvesting profits in our community. Baba's Bar and Grill of Newberry Harbor, where Baba wants you to know we're having a lot of fun. And Echo Communications, a digitally integrated commercial printer and mailer located in New London, New Hampshire.